rock and roll. I don't think that's the words. I will have a holly jolly Christmas. Oh shit, looks like my life. I'm going live in a second, lads, so don't really worry about it. We'll have a holly jolly Christmas. La 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 la. Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. It's Manchester United versus Feyenoord. It's the Watchalong, it's the United Stand, and I hope there's plenty of you with me because that's what makes the show, folks. That's what makes the show. Team news. I've been told that Mkhitaryan will start, hence the tweet, which I'm really hoping is not going to bite me on the backside because I like it when my person gets it right. They didn't get it right last week. They did a couple of weeks before that. So hopefully they've got it right about Mkhitaryan starting. Jose said he will be involved. Lots to discuss. We are waiting on the team news. The second it comes out, I will announce it. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody in America. Must say that. And I hope you're having a very good day. Nelshman's told me to stop singing Christmas stuff. And George Cole says don't go on the X Factor. Not much chance of that. But Manchester United have got loads to talk about. We'll do the team news. We'll talk about that for about 15 to 20 minutes. Kick-off's around 8 o'clock. And then we will talk about, in about 20 minutes' time, I want to talk about Zlatan, what's his future, and also some of the comments from Mourinho and how long he wants to stay, etc., etc. So, let's get lined up for the team news, because I know that's really important. I want Mkhitaryan to start, because ultimately, he needs to start games. There's no point bringing him on as a substitute, because then you don't know whether he can do it starting. So yeah, I think he definitely needs to start. Steven Gerrard retired today. We will have a little chat about that in about half an hour's time as well. Messi saying that he's the best English player ever. But didn't Messi get done with fraud? You gonna believe what he's got to say? No. And Messi's not even the best player in the world, but that's for another time. Hello, you Red Devils, says Kevin. Get Marcus on. Yeah, what time's team's news? Team news, I think, is due in 3 minutes. It's a 8:05 kickoff. Normally England in the Premier League they release it an hour before. However, it tends to be 15 minutes before that with UEFA, so we've gone a little bit early with the lives. Marcus is on the live comment section, so maybe Marcus would like to come on at 7:30 after we've had Ross on to talk about the team. Septic Falcon YT, thank you very much. Prediction, Mark, says Jamie O'Hare. I'll give you my prediction, but I just need to know what the team news is first. Please like the video. This is your video. If you've never been on a watch along before, it's massively about you, especially when the game kicks off. Share the links on Twitter, Facebook, everywhere like that. The bigger we get, the bigger your voice gets. And after this game, we will be doing a Skype Goldbridge straight after the game as well on this stream. So you can just get Skyping in at full time. Not at the moment. Skype is not open. Free Mickey. Mkhitaryan is starting is a joyous feeling, ain't it? Says Jason Braithwaite. We are imminently waiting for the team news, and the second I get it confirmed, I will give it out. I know there's a few rumours floating around, and I certainly had an indication that Mkhitaryan is starting. However, that is not confirmed until we see it on the official Manchester United page, which we haven't at the moment. Would you sign Howardies? Must-win game, guys. I'm happy to talk about transfers. Maybe we'll do that in a little bit. I'm getting really excited about transfers now. You know, Christmas is very close, and ultimately, straight after that, boom, transfer window's open. And I think we will do it very, very quick early. Beer Eats not watched a watch along in ages. Great. Remember to subscribe to the video. That's really important. In fact, I'll be showing you a little trick at about 7:30 how you can keep up with the United Stand. Jaden Mitchell's new. I hope you've subscribed to the channel, Jaden, and please do give us a like and yeah. I don't know what I was thinking about. Get involved. What would be your lineup, Mark? Says Morgan Gibson. Very quickly, because I know the real one's going to come out very quickly. My lineup would be De Gea in goal. I'm trying to remember it now. De Gea in goal. I think I had Darmian at right back, Shaw at left back, Blind and Jones centre backs, Fellaini or Schneider holding the midfield, Pogba, Rooney at 10, Martial on the left, Mkhitaryan on the right, and I think I played Rashford up front. So that was my team. I want to see Herrera and Mata and Carrick rested, if I'm totally honest. I'd like to see Fellaini and Rooney play tonight, because then they won't play on Sunday. Tatsy, be back in a minute. Jimmy Hill, Mark, do you mind if we lose tonight? Mickey Unchar. That's a very good point, Jimmy, and I do want to talk about that in a bit because it sounds really weird. Ultimately, I want us to win because I want Mkhitaryan to play well, and I think if he plays well, we will be showing the lineup. Keep an eye up on below me where it says 0-0. There's a little team news ticker along there. That will have the team as soon as it comes out, but literally as soon as it comes out, I'll be verbally feeding it out to you as well. So it is due out absolutely any second. So this channel should have way more subs than it does, says Drumming King. We grow off you. We grow off your word of mouth. So tell everyone about the United Stand, and most importantly, subscribe, like, and just keep getting involved, and we will grow. We've grown massively in 18 months, and I agree. I think we should be bigger because I want a louder voice, especially with the shows like Skype Goldbridge we've started doing, where you come on and have your say. That's exactly what the envisage is. Manchester United starting 11 then. Romero in goal, Valencia, Jones, Blind and Shaw. So very nearly my team. Mkhitaryan does start back of the net. Carrick, Pogba, Mata, Rooney, Mkhitaryan, Ibrahimovic. So Rooney's probably going to play on the left, or Mkhitaryan, but I'm happy with that team. No Fellaini, Carrick and Pogba in the midfield. Slightly worried with Carrick starting, but that team again. Romero, Valencia, Jones, Blind, Shaw, Carrick, Pogba, Mata, and the subs are De Gea, Rojo, Fellaini, Herrera, Lingard, Memphis and Rashford. So Rashford's on the bench, Herrera on the bench, which I think is a good move. But I'm very happy with that team. I don't know what you lot think. Very, very happy with that team. Very happy indeed. So give us your thoughts. I can't complain. Mkhitaryan does start for Manchester United. We've got Ross coming in now. Let's get what he's got to say. Evening, Ross. How are you?
Yeah, good, Mark. Yourself?
Very good. Have you seen the team?
Yes, I have. Pleased with it.
Yeah, very. Go on then, give us your thoughts, pal.
Well, it's a great team. I actually really wanted to see Romero start because it just gives him a game. Otherwise, he's just going to sit on the bench all season. So I'm pleased with that. I'm a little bit concerned about Carrick, though. I don't know if Mourinho is going to completely change his mind and thinks Carrick can now do 3 games a week, or is Carrick going to be rested on the weekend and are we going to see Fellaini play? But apart from that, it's great to see. I was listening to you just before, and Mkhitaryan coming off the bench in this game it'd have been completely useless. There'd have been no point. So to see him start is wicked. So I'm very pleased with it.
Yeah, well, and I'm very pleased with my source, who does tend to get it right most weeks, but I was a bit worried putting a tweet out 20 minutes before saying that Mkhitaryan does start, because I know there would have been mass anger if it hadn't happened. So I'm very, very pleased with that, and hopefully they can continue with the good transfer stories they were giving us in the summer as well. So that's really, really pleasing. But yeah, I mean, I did say it, but I think that's really important. I'll throw it back to you because I need to type the team news out as well. We are excited. We are excited because Mkhitaryan is going to start in this game. What sort of game do you think he can have?
It's the perfect game for him. I mean, I know Feyenoord are good and they're playing really well in the Dutch league, but it's the Dutch league at the end of the day. And this is like we saw it with Pogba when he played Fenerbahce. It's a great game to get some Mkhitaryan confidence into him, and hopefully, he doesn't even have to get an assist or a goal. I just need him to just play well, and feel like he's a part of the team. And we've been crying out for it. Maybe Mourinho has pulled off, not going to say a masterclass, but maybe he has dropped him for a reason, and he was always planning to bring him back. Probably when we most need him, because we are really struggling on the wings at the minute. We've got an out-of-form Martial, Jesse Lingard's not performing, even Rashford's not looking like he's not a winger, so he's not looking like the winger that we thought. So it's a big game for Mkhitaryan, but he just needs to do the simple things well. He needs to not make defensive mistakes. He just needs to not give the ball away a lot. He doesn't need to set the world alight. He just needs to do the basic things right. So I'm pleased to see Herrera rested as well. He's played a lot of football, so at least we know that Herrera's going to start against West Ham. But like I said, the Carrick thing does concern me. I don't think that Carrick will start against West Ham if he plays any more than 60 minutes today.
Yeah, that sort of worries me a little bit, to be honest, if I am totally honest. I mean, just looking at the team there, I just need to double check who the subs are. So we've got Rojo, Fellaini, obviously Herrera. I'm just going through the team news now, and it should be coming up on everyone's screen at home. I went with, my team was De Gea in goal because I don't think you need to ever change a goalie, but does it really matter? I think I had Darmian, who's not involved at all, but did play last week, so that's quite interesting. He's not even on the bench. So I had Darmian at right back, but then I did have Jones, Blind, and Shaw, because Shaw needs to play. I think Blind and Jones balance each other quite well. I think Jones does need to keep playing, interestingly enough, because I think, if he's going to get injured, he's going to get injured, so play him. Carrick I wouldn't have played. I do worry about that on Sunday. Pogba I would have played. Rooney I would have played. Mata, yeah, fair enough. Mkhitaryan definitely. And Zlatan playing, actually, I think I didn't say him a minute ago, but I think I did say him in my preview, because Zlatan's had so long off, he'll benefit from playing.
Definitely. I think Mata as well is one of these players that, kind of like Pogba, I don't feel that he actually ever needs resting. He hasn't really played a full 90 minutes anyway for United this season. He always gets brought off at some point. And I think Mata, he's just that type of player where he sort of plays with his head as well as his feet. So he doesn't really need to be rested too much. The team that I would have picked is very similar to this. There's about 3 changes. And I'd have just gone a little bit more risky, just based on the fact that it's Europa League, and it's one of them. You're on a hide into nothing in Europa League. If you play well, everyone just says it's Europa League. Who cares? And if you don't play well, everyone tarnishes at you for it. So I'm so pleased with that team, and pleased to see Shaw back in it as well. I mean, he's been rested for so long now, and I started to feel like the Mkhitaryan effect was happening with Luke Shaw. But it's good to see him get a game today, and I think he'll blow us all away.
I said on Sunday, it's one of the first lineups I've seen where I've been really excited. I mean, Saturday against Arsenal. And we've had it two games in a row. I really can't pick many faults with that team. I can't really pick any faults. You can have a concern about whether Carrick's going to play on Saturday. Jamie O'Hare says this is a match Bastian should have started. He's not in the UEFA Europa League squad. He can't play regardless. So I don't expect to see Schweinsteiger play for United again anyway. I think he's really just being fit for a sale. What's your thoughts on Memphis, says Hey Ben Studios. Telepathic Entity, maybe not on our page, has no consistency in Mourinho's squad selections. De Gea, Herrera, Martial, all out of the team yet again when they should have been started. Well, Martial actually just comes into my head. that is... and Jason Garbutt, no Martial or Fosu Mensah. I mean, initially I hadn't thought of those two. That is disappointing. What's your thoughts on that, Ross?
Well, do you know what? We're so pleased with this team lineup. We're not focusing on the negative parts. I mean, we haven't even mentioned the fact that Wayne Rooney starting in this game today, to be honest, which is, would have been controversial about 3 weeks ago. It's because we've got the other players around the team, and Martial. All Man United fans are a massive fan of Martial because of what he done for us last season, but he's nowhere near the form that he was at last season. He was poor against Arsenal, and I wouldn't have. Maybe he's dropped him to give him a rest, or maybe just to take him out of the limelight a bit. But Martial is not. I wouldn't have started him in this game, no way. I think he's low on confidence, and he needs to be taken out for a little while and give someone like Mkhitaryan a chance. And on Memphis' career at Man United's over. He'll be on the bench today. He might get 10 minutes. He probably won't. Memphis is over. I think Martial's something up for it. He's probably just rested him.
Yeah, well, he did take him off after an hour, didn't he? Against Arsenal, which was disappointing. I mean, I love Martial. All I'll say about that is I really like him. I really like Fosu Mensah as well. But we've been saying this since the summer. I mean, I wouldn't get too annoyed with it if you're a United fan, because the reality is, and Mourinho sort of touched on it this week, it's going to take him. I think he said the squad is dead, and it's going to take him a couple of transfer windows to sort it out. The problem is, it's a massive squad. Schneidlin's not on the bench. Darmian's not on the bench. Martial's not on the bench. Fosu Mensah's not on the bench. Ashley Young's not on the bench. And we said this right at the start of the season. It's going to be a challenge just to get on the bench for United now. But I think the positive we should be taking, and also Smalling and Bay injured as well. That's another 2. So there's about 10 players that you could say they're not on the bench. They're not involved. So that's how tough it is. But for me, it's about Mkhitaryan tonight. It's the Mkhitaryan show. I mean, Europa League I want to talk about now, and everyone do get commenting. The Europa League for me is... Somebody said to me today, would you be disappointed if we lost? And I know what they're getting at, and I know what my answer is, but I can't give that answer. My answer is I don't want us to lose, especially because Mkhitaryan's playing, and I think we need a 3 or 4-0 win, because Feyenoord's defence, they barely can put one out. They're really struggling. So a 3 or 4-0 win today is just an opportunity to... We need to start scoring goals. So I want Manchester United to play well. I definitely want us to play well because we've got Mkhitaryan in the team. I think Mata will help him a lot. But the Europa League, you know what? If we win tonight, We've got Zoya in a couple of weeks. We're not going to lose that game. We get through to the latter stages of the Europa League, but we can park it for basically 2 months. So, yeah, I want us to win tonight. I'm not massively happy we're in the Europa League. But it's a problem in February. It's not something I need to worry about after tonight. I don't know what your thoughts on it are, Ross, really. I mean, some people think we've got to take it seriously because it's the only chance of the Champions League.
Yeah, my problem is with the Europa League is, regardless of what everyone's thoughts of it is, it's a very strong competition. And the teams that finish outside the top four in most of the leagues in the world now, and not forget that in the lower leagues, the Dutch leagues, it's the third and fourth teams that are going into this. It's a strong league, and you've got Tottenham come into it now as well, who are also strong. And people think that because Manchester United are in it, we should automatically be winning this title. Everyone thinks that this is a guaranteed silverware, and it's not. And like Mark says, come February, March time, especially April, if we get into the semi-finals, we're seeing it take a toll on our season, and we're playing at home to teams like Feyenoord, and we're struggling 3 days later, and we're resting a lot of players. So yeah, when we get to the point when we're having to put out full strength teams in the Europa League and they really battle away from home, and then have to go and play away at someone like Chelsea or Man City the weekend after, it's going to take a massive toll on our season. But having said that, I don't want to see. You never want to see Manchester United lose. I'm not going to go into this game and say I'd be happy if we got knocked out of the Europa League. So I wouldn't. But at the same time, I don't think we've got such a massive squad, but I don't think it's strong enough with players playing well for us to manage both tournaments.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, the exciting thing, I'm just reading the live comments as it whizzes through, and there's some funny things I'm going to come back to, but the exciting thing for everybody, whether you've joined us late or not, is the team news is going on the ticker below me, but Mkhitaryan does start, and that, I think, is just, for me, was the most exciting signing we made in the summer. And that sounds ridiculous when you bought Zlatan, who I've always liked, and Pogba, who's just going to be world class. But Mkhitaryan was sort of a surprise signing, and as soon as we sort of got linked to him, I was like, bloody hell, if we can get hold of him. I hope it works. And all the only thing that comes back into the back of my head, because I've been doing a bit of research this week, is that Mourinho, when you look at his Chelsea signings especially, it's littered with him buying players, creative players, and then it doesn't work out and he sells them and they hardly ever play. So don't think that can't happen because it's his signing, or whether it's his signing or not. Schürrle at Chelsea, Salah at Chelsea, Cuadrado at Chelsea. That's three players who are very good players and have gone on to be quite good players away from Chelsea and were good players before, who just didn't fit into him even though he bought them. So it can work out. The flips, it doesn't necessarily work out. That's why I was getting worried. But the flip side of that is he bought Willian from Brazil. He didn't play him at all for a long time. It took him a while to adjust to the Premier League. I think Willian's one of the best wide men in the Premier League because for his work rate as well. So it can work out. Robin Hammond very quickly is calling me Mark the Scouse Basher. If you don't follow us on Facebook or Twitter, there's a video I put up about an hour ago about Steven Gerrard where I call him world class. Go and find it. Really enjoyable. I liked making that. But enough about him. So Mkhitaryan's the exciting thing for me, Ross, that I'm looking forward to. Like you said, Luke Shaw as well. I think the fact that there's no... I presume Rooney's going to play on the left, unless he's going to put Mkhitaryan on the left, Mata on the right, and Rooney at 10. Yeah,
I have no idea how that sort of front three behind Zlatan are going to line up. I'd put Rooney on the left, like you just said, because I think when 2 weeks ago, I forgot the team, but Rooney had one of his best games that I've seen him play for United in quite a long time on the left. So maybe it just takes him out because his first touch is just not good enough to play at number 10. If he plays out on the left, it gives him a little bit more time on the ball. And, he's not good at running in behind. So you've got the play in front of him as opposed to him having to dictate. So I'd play Rooney on the left. And, we could concentrate on Mkhitaryan because it is a big game for him. But we do forget that these are huge games for Wayne Rooney. And we all bash Rooney. We don't bash Rooney, but we all have a go at him. But what we'd like to see more than anything is Rooney turn his form around and turn into the Rooney of 4 or 5 years ago. That's what we'd all wish for, and that's what we all want. And every time I say Rooney's finished, and there's 10% of me that watches a game like this and just hopes that he comes back as good as he was.
Yeah, I think Rooney, as long as he's a bit part player and we're not trying to build teams around him anymore, then I think... I've said it as much as I've got on his back, and I think his form has been unacceptable for somebody who's effectively a club legend, captain, and our biggest earner. His form's been it has been unacceptable. However, he is here till at least the summer, and that's a fact. You know, he is here till the summer, and he is going to constantly be used because he's Wayne Rooney. So any fan should want Wayne Rooney to be playing well. I would say that his time is coming to an end, and if we can sell him in the summer, we should. But he's here till the summer, so if he plays, I hope he plays well. A few people saying Mkhitaryan will play on the left. He could play at number 10. It'd be interesting to see.
Do you know, I've just seen it's actually Hesham on Twitter that's done his own sort of team lineup as the way they're playing, and he's put Mkhitaryan at 10. So I think it's interesting you say that, actually, because I think that's his best position.
Yeah, I'd love to see him at number 10. I really would, but there's no excuses for that team anyway. I mean, at least he's, you know, when he came on in the second leg, I think it was actually Fenerbahce, wasn't it? And I thought he didn't do too badly, but everyone else seemed to think he was terrible, and Mourinho certainly said so. But he's starting the game tonight. He's got Pogba, Carrick, Mata, Zlatan, Rooney around him. As long as they give him the ball and that's probably, you know, apart from Herrera, he's got the best ball playing players around us. He's not having to play with the likes with other people who are like trying to impress, really. You know, he could be playing with like Fellaini and Memphis and people like that, and then it's difficult. He's got everything set up for him tonight, and we might find out, horrifically, why Mourinho hasn't been picking him, because he might have an absolute stinker. But I don't think so. I really like Mkhitaryan. He's 2-footed, he's got great poise, he can run at people, he can do the lot. And I think tonight, as long as he has a 6 or 7 out of 10, and I think he'll have a better game than that, then he can build on that, because we need to start scoring goals. That's what tonight's all about. People have said, what's your score prediction? I'm going to ask Ross now, but for me, I think 3-1, 4-1. I think Feyenoord's defence is quite weak. I wasn't impressed with them in Holland. I just think we didn't create anything. I thought we did okay. They scored a chance. So at Old Trafford, with positivity and a decent lineup, I think we can get at them. And I think it's really important. We probably need to win most of our games between now and Christmas. Certainly need to win tonight and on Sunday against West Ham. So if we could score 3 or 4 goals tonight, it gives us some confidence, Ross.
Yeah, I'd go with 3 or... Yeah, I'd go 4-0. I don't think we'll concede against this team tonight. It's interesting, actually. I was just looking at sort of the way we could line up just there. And with what we've been playing in midfield, it's great having Carrick in midfield, because I think the balance is there. But the problem is, having Herrera and Pogba in front of him, either one of them at number 10, it doesn't matter. You're still playing a centre midfielder at number 10, so you sort of congest the midfield. But regardless, as long as it's not Rooney at number 10 tonight, regardless of who we've got at 10, we're playing an attacking number 10. Somebody who can get really close to Zlatan. And almost that's the beauty of having Carrick at defensive midfielder, is you can release the number 10. You don't have to have the number 10 getting back so much, because I think Mourinho's seen how well defensively Carrick plays and how well he can cover the centre-backs when they're out of position. And I think the faith that Mourinho now has in Carrick this is a testament to what it is, him playing tonight. And playing with Mkhitaryan, Rooney, Mata and Zlatan, it's almost a front four, which is what I wanted to see at United. I thought that's what Pogba would bring us. He would bring us him and another centre midfielder, because he's got the strength to almost take 2 men out of the game, and then just release 4 players up the top and just let them dominate, which is kind of what the old Chelsea teams used to do. You know, he'd have a Makalele or a really solid centre defensive midfielder with someone partnering him, and just let the front four be. Let them be fluid and let them create chances as they will. So I think we could be in for a bit of a rout tonight. Fingers crossed, and I can't see us. Hopefully we press and don't give them a sniff at our goal.
Well, exactly, and also I think we need to, you know, as I said, I'm repeating myself, but we need to score a lot of goals, because that's the problem. When you think about Arsenal, when you think about Burnley, you think about Stoke. Mourinho said it this week. We should have 6 more points than we have. I've been saying it. Ross has been saying it. Paul's been saying it. Everyone's been saying it. You've all been saying it. I nearly did call you Paul again.
Yeah.
But it's true. And the problem has been putting the ball in the back of the net. And because we haven't put the ball in the back of the net, mistakes like Rashford's at the end of the game on Saturday, I don't know why I keep saying Sunday, that's basically causes the problem. So a few goals would be well received tonight. And I think there's no reason why we can't do that. Just wanted to talk about Mourinho, actually. I'm getting a lot of lag for some reason, and I'm trying to figure out why. just wanted to talk about Mourinho, actually. He was saying that, he wants to stay longer than 3 years, but a lot of it comes down to whether he can do the job. What's your thoughts on that, Ross?
I watched that press conference, and it was a really interesting press conference. One of the best I've seen from Mourinho, actually, just because of the sort of revelations of the Ibrahimovic's new contract. But I think we all us United fans like to think that our manager will always see past his contract, because that's what United are as a club. But I think because Van Gaal was always a short-term replacement, and he always spoke of his retirement, so there was never any longevity in it. No one looked beyond the 3-year title, and I'd like to think that Mourinho, and he did show a sniff in that interview that he was looking beyond, and he wants a new contract, but it's not down to him, to have that new contract. It's down to Ed Woodward at the end of the day. So he needs transfer windows, and he needs to build his team. But I don't think there's a question if Mourinho should be our manager at the minute. Even if I was given the choice now to pick another manager in world football, I think we're in such a mess as it is at the minute. We were left a mess by Van Gaal that I want Mourinho in. I want him to make the decisions that I'll buy a player and not play him, like Mkhitaryan. We all hated it, but I kind of respect a manager that will make that decision and stand by it at the end of the day, and stand by decisions. No matter what manager we had come in the summer, they would have always have played Schweinsteiger. It would have happened. And I think Jose is one of the rare managers that, dropped in for no real reason, as being a little bit injury prone. And we all didn't like it. We all love Schweinsteiger, but at the same time, I respect him for making these decisions, because he's not making them for his own ego. He's making it because he wants United to win a Premier League, and he's a serial winner, and he'll get us there 100%.
Laura Baker says the kickoff's at 8:05, which it is. The team news is going along the bottom there, but I'm happy to read it out for you. It's Romero, Valencia, Jones and Blind, Shaw at left back, Carrick anchor in the midfield with Pogba, probably Rooney ahead of him. I think we'll see Mkhitaryan on the left, Mata on the right, and Zlatan up front. So a very exciting team with Mkhitaryan in it. Can't wait for kickoff. Really looking forward to it. But back onto what we were talking about, Jose there. I mean, the interesting thing about Mourinho is that he is... It's not been a great start to the season, but he still fills me with such confidence, and I'm so happy that he's the manager. So, and I do feel that 6 points that we've dropped, which is nothing to do with him, it's bad finishing. You add that 6 points to our league season, and we're smack. I think we're level with Arsenal. We're 3 or 4 points off the top. I mean, that's where we probably should be. And people are saying we're having a bad season. I mean, them 6 points are frustrating because we should have had them. The reality is they might come back and bite us at the end of the season, but we can't afford to drop any more. We need to start putting the ball in the back of the net. We've got more than enough players to do it, and I think that's why tonight's so important. And the great thing about Mkhitaryan is that people don't know a lot about him, is that what he did at Dortmund is, yes, he scored goals, but the creativity element of him is what he's all about. So, we've not been bad at creating chances, but here's a player. I think for me, Ross, what I'm trying to get at badly is that I don't think when it comes to the wide positions, other than Mata, and he's always a debatable one whether he's a right midfielder or not, I don't feel that for the whole season we've not solved the wide position, whether it's left or right. And we do need to solve that problem, and there's a massive opportunity for Mkhitaryan if he can do it, because I don't think Rashford's worked particularly well out there. I don't think he's a winger. Obviously, we spoke about Martial. I think Lingard's debatable. Memphis just isn't going to work out. Ashley Young's too old, and then Mata's done okay. So the wide, we've done relatively well with no wide players.
Yeah, it's interesting as well, because you look at our team, and it's filled with wingers. We've got a lot of wingers or strikers come wingers. But even on the United stand in the summer, and a lot of United fans were crying out for Manchester United to sign another winger, and we were all talking about Lozano as the key aspect. So we all spotted it quite early on that regardless of the amount of wingers, we were lacking quality in that area. And I think Mourinho will now see it. I mean, Jesse Lingard, he's great at doing what he can do, but what he can do is not good enough, unfortunately. Rashford's not a winger. I don't even think Martial's a winger. I think Martial is a striker that's been played out on the wing and played quite well, but predominantly he's a striker. So I don't, you're looking at Memphis, he's going to leave. So massive chance of Mkhitaryan, because we're going to go in that transfer window and we're just going to be predominantly after wingers, unless he can fill this role, which he can fill. I mean, we all forget, and I seem to keep repeating it to every United fan that I meet. It's that he's the best player in the German league, and he still is. You know, he hasn't lost anything over the summer. He's still the most talented player that they had in the German league last year, and maybe he just needed to adapt. Maybe he's needed the time to adjust to the team. Maybe he didn't get on with the team, and now, you know, they've kind of accepted him back. I don't think we're ever going to know until maybe when Mkhitaryan actually leaves, or, you know, 50 years time releases an autobiography. But something happened, and I think something's been, you know, swept under the carpet for now, and we're in need of Mkhitaryan at the minute more than ever, and because we haven't got no one that can fill that right winger slot. And I look at a game like we played Arsenal last weekend, and I think if we had an informed Mkhitaryan on that pitch for that game, I think, you know, I know we don't put some of the chances away, but I think our chances created would definitely jump, because it was crying out for a right winger. It was Valencia had the whole right to himself.
Yeah, I thought we were superb down the right against Arsenal. Actually, a few people have mentioned it in the live comments. Sawyer Chand, Mark, do you think Memphis has any future now? He must go on loan in January transfer window. I think you've answered the question perfectly there. I don't think Memphis has got a future at United. He just cannot force himself into the lineup for whatever reason. I'm just going to end the call, Ross, and then get you back, because I seem to have lost your visual. But what I do want to ask him when I can get him back is about Zlatan. The Zlatan thing is quite interesting. Oh, bloody great. Skype stopped working. Close the problem. Let's get it back up. So Zlatan, basically, Mourinho said yesterday that he's going to, you know, it's the club's prerogative to renew, and they will renew. And Zlatan had obviously hinted slightly at an MLS move. But as we knew in the summer, it is for him to. It's our decision to keep him. Some fans, I know, aren't massive Zlatan fans. Ross, where do you stand on whether we should keep Zlatan for another year?
I was chuffed a bit to see him stay another year. We've seen snippets of the real Zlatan, and he has missed key chances and probably, you know, dropped us points, to be fair. But I think he's still got so much to offer us as a player, as a brand as well. I do buy into the whole having a player as a brand, and I think he is a brand in himself. But yeah, I was so pleased to hear him sign another year, regardless of what he's done over the past 6 weeks. I think we will see the real Zlatan this season, and he will get us. We're forgetting that he was on a good running of goals at the start of the season, and he will probably get us over 20 goals this season, which, to buy a striker that will get you more than 20 goals a season, is a phenomenal amount of money. And I know we're paying him a lot of money per week, but for the cost of a transfer fee to replace him, I think it's too much money, and it gives Rashford another year to develop into the striker role as well because if he went at the end of this year, I think we'd dive straight out into the transfer market, look for the most expensive forward we could get, and you're almost hindering these Martials and Rashford, and it will give Martial and Rashford time to develop sort of underneath Ibrahimovic, and we might be able to sort of grow a striker as opposed to spending 80-90 million pounds on one.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm a massive Zlatan fan anyway. Very happy that we'll keep him for another year. I think he's going to. I think we've not even seen the best of him yet, anywhere near it. And I do feel that's why I'm excited to see Zlatan play tonight as well. I think he's going to click into form, and I think he'll silence everybody then, because he's far better than what we've seen, even though he's scored a lot of goals. And I do think between now and Christmas we'll start to see the real United. And now that's a big statement to make when we've got to go away to Everton and we've got Spurs at home. But these are games we've got to win. We can't be going to Everton and saying a point's a good point now, because we've dropped too many points at home. We've got to go and beat teams. And I think, in fairness to Mourinho, everyone said he'll play really boring football and he won't use the youth. I think maybe he won't use the youth. Maybe that one is a consistent and fair point. But I think the football's been good. I think we have created chances, and I think the minute we start scoring chances, then things will get far, far better for us. I mean, Lynn just said there, Memphis on the bench and no Fosu Mensah. I understand all that, but you can't have everything, and I think we just got to be positive about the fact that Mkhitaryan is starting tonight, which he is, and I think that's the thing I'm really, really, really excited about. Paul Clayton says, evening, come on United. I think there is a lot of positivity in the live comments, which is great to see. Mark, you said at the end of this... Bart, Mark, you said at the start of the season Memphis would not get into the squad. I don't think I did say. Well, I know what I said. I said I think we'll see the odd appearance from Memphis over this season. I didn't think he'd force himself into the team, and I thought he'd be sold next summer. And the reason I said that is not because I'm anti-Memphis, although I am. I think his attitude stinks. I just don't think he can force his way into this team. Interestingly enough, I think it's probably gone. I don't know what your thoughts are, Ross, but realistically, I didn't think he could force his way into the team because I thought, we've got Martial, we've got Rashford, we've got Mkhitaryan, you've got Mata who can play out there. I'll put him around 5th choice straight away, so it's very hard for him to get a chance. Ridiculously enough, we've just been talking about wingers and saying nobody's done really well, yet still he's not been able to force his way into the team. So, Martial's been poor, Lingard's not been great, Rashford's not been great out wide, Mkhitaryan, God knows what was going on there. So the opportunity for those Memphis lovers out there and for Memphis has been there, and he's still not got in the team.
Memphis was... The amount of opportunities he's had was a joke. I mean, we forget that he started probably the first 15 games for Manchester United under Van Gaal and played 90 minutes of every game and was quite poor in every game. The only games that he showed any signs of life were the Europa League ties, Champions League ties when we were playing Nomads. And I think Memphis has been, from my point of view, probably one of the most disappointing signings that United have had over the last 3 years because, I know Falcao flopped and Di Maria flopped, but we'd witnessed all of this and Memphis was different. He was a raw talent. And we thought that he was just made for Manchester United. He was given the number 7 shirt and the buzz around him was phenomenal. And he just flopped in the Premier League. And I think the first sort of tough challenge that he received in the Premier League was a big wake-up call for him to say wow, I'm not going to be given time on the ball in this league. And he's just never been able to adapt. Some players like that, they can get that shock and then they'll adapt their game so they can play in the Premier League. And I just think that Memphis can't. And he's going to need, we'll talk about where he's going to go, but he's going to need to go abroad because everyone talks about this loan deal for Everton. It will be exactly the same case as what we had with Januzaj, where we were just watching him play poor football for another club, where he just needs to go abroad and hopefully revive his career because I do like him as a person. So, I'd not like know him, but I'd like to see him do well, but he's massive disappointment for me.
Yeah, I think the writing's on the wall. And all I would ever use as an example is Mata and Herrera, misused by Van Gaal, nowhere near the team this season, new manager, and they're bang on. I know you've got to get off, Ross, so I'll let you. But thanks for coming on.
No worries.
If you want to pop on at half time, just drop me a message or something.
Cool. Cheers. See you later.
Cheers, Ross. Thanks very much. Always good points from him. Let me just. We're lagging a bit as well, so it's not a bad idea to just knock that off for a bit as we talk about other things. But no Fuzu Mensah, no Martial. I'm a big fan of both. Not even in the squad. No Schneiderlin, no Darmian, no Ashley Young. Not even in the squad. But this is the trouble. We've got such a big squad. Andrew Thompson, slightly worried about Martial. I do believe he will come good, but I'm not 100%. And Taran saying that Carrick will score. New Romero would start, says Star Blogger. And Mark, did you see the no, I'm not going to mention that. Worried Mickey will get blame if we lose, says Metro Official. I'm glad you repeated that because I'd seen it before. The pressure's on Mkhitaryan, but we're all behind him. He's starting the game. It's an important game. We need to win it. It's not like the thing I like about Mkhitaryan starting tonight is that it's not like it's Zoya at home and we're already qualified. We need to win this game to qualify. If we draw, we're probably not getting through. So we need to win it. And it's a pressure game for him. And if he plays badly, I think it plays into Jose's hands to say, well, this is why I've not been picking him. If he plays well, I think it plays into Jose's hands to say, we're gradually working him into the team. We all hope for the latter. It's Daley Blind's 100th game tonight, apparently, says Nishman, so that's good. But I'm happy, just going through the team very quickly. Obviously, Romero in goal makes no difference to me. Valencia at right back. Yeah, I think I did put Valencia in my team in the preview. I can't remember, but he's been out for a while, so why not play him? Get his fitness up. So that's fine. Jones, I think, has to play, because my issue with Jones is not necessarily about ability. It's about him being an injury risk. Well, play him every game, because if he's going to get injured, he may as well get injured sooner rather than later. Let's not protect him. Blind back in at centre back. I wanted Blind to play tonight, and I wanted Shaw to play, so Blind was always going to be the left-sided one at the back. Shaw obviously playing is a positive. We need him to get back to his best. Carrick playing, I'm not overly happy with, because I want him to play against West Ham. However, I expect Carrick to go off on the hour mark. If he goes beyond the hour, I'll be really worried about that, because we need him on Sunday. That's the more important game for me. Pogba playing, happy with that. He seems to do well playing every game. He doesn't seem to get affected by needing a rest or anything like that. Mata playing, again, you could have put somebody else in there, but it makes us better in the attack. Mkhitaryan, absolutely ecstatic with. Rooney, I did say let's play Rooney tonight, because we probably wouldn't need him to play on Sunday. And then Zlatan's been out for a while, hasn't he, with the suspension in the international break, so we want Zlatan to play on Sunday. But playing him tonight, if we can get a couple of goals, tonight for me is about Mkhitaryan, it's about Luke Shaw, and it's about scoring goals. And I think that's the big three we can take from this. 2 good performances from them players that we all like, and a few goals to take something into Sunday. Whatever you think about the Europa League, and I'm not a massive fan about it, the reality is I don't want us to lose tonight. I don't want us to go out. We've played 4 games. We may as well win tonight, and then we can park it till February and try and get back on track in the league. And then when the Europa League starts up again in February, we look at where we are in the league. If we're still like 6 points off 4th place, we might have to go, you know what, we're going to have to prioritise the Europa League. If we're in the top 4, we might have to think, let's not prioritise the Europa League. Let's use some of the squad and keep some of the better players back for the league campaign. So, let's bring it on. Ibra needs a goal, says Salim Hussein. I'd agree with that. Rashford is the next Ronaldo, says... oh, no, he was joking. Do you think Rooney fits into this team, says Urshad? Well, we'll see, won't we? 50 quid on a Zlatan goal. He's going to do it, boys, says Sam H. Mark, why are you so far right wing, says Daniel Fordham. I don't really take any notice about politics, so I disagree with that. It's a pretty good team. Wouldn't mind the same 11 versus West Ham with De Gea and Martial and Rooney and Romero. I think Herrera walks back in as well. I mean, this is the nice problem to have. Zlatan will score 2 goals tonight, says Joshua. Mark, are you watching the match? Salim, yes, we are. Jose will sub Mickey for Fellaini around 70th minute. That's a 100 quid bet, says Ridwan. Game starts at 8 o'clock UK time. It does. Tommy Knockers. Would you get Alaba, says Vanessa? I would, but we won't get him in January. If Carrick is played today, whom would you pick as a midfield to protect the back 4 against West Ham? The only reliable option in my mind is Bastian, who is very unlikely to play, says Ashwin Gill. Well, this is the problem. West Ham is the more important game for me personally in the league. 3 points are more important than the Europa League at the moment. But I can't believe that he would risk Carrick and not play him on Sunday. Makes I don't know whether that game's on TV actually. Does anyone know that? I know it's a 4:30 kickoff, but being a 4:30 kickoff, does that mean it's not on TV? Which would be bloody typical. I hate it when we're not on the telly. Mark, can you have the game start already? I wish I could, because we've still got a little bit of time. Rooney is useless, says Mickey. Like, share, subscribe, please, guys and girls, says Marcus. Marcus, actually, put in the comments section if you want to pop on for a minute. How do you get to watch the match? Because I don't have Sky or BT, says Epic Gamer. Mark, do you think Carrick is better than Gerrard, says Jordan Thompson? You know what? Gerrard retiring today. He retired when he went to the MLS. I mean, what's this all about? He's retiring. I mean, I just think, there's a massive love-in when it comes to Gerrard. And to be honest, he's a Roy of the Rover sort of player. He's a decent cup player. But there's a reason Liverpool never won the league. And it's nothing to do with this myth that people spout out that, he was playing in a bad team. The year they should have won it with Suarez, who's probably one of the best forwards in the world, as much as I don't like him, and Sturridge was good. That team was a decent team. They should have won the league that year. Everything fell into place. And he slipped up. As the captain of the team, he couldn't... the slip was funny enough, but he just couldn't get them going, even at Palace. He bottled it. And he's never won the league because he is not a league-winning player. When it really matters, as in a cup game, in a one-off, he can do it. That's why they've won cups. But when over a season or in a major tournament for England, not good enough. So Gerrard, as the best English player there's been in a generation. I can name 5 better straight away. I put Rooney ahead of him. I would put Rooney ahead of him, and I'd certainly put Scholes ahead of him. And as for Messi coming out and saying he's the best ever, who's going to be? Messi might be the best talent in the world, but he obviously hasn't got a very big brain. I mean, all the criminal stuff, and he's not the best player in the world anyway. I mean, and how many times has Messi actually played in England or against Liverpool or England? Not many. So I think he's idiot. Mad Marcus, tell Mark to read my comments, says RT Gowan, which I've just read. Gerard is a poor man's Scholes. Mark, you see the video people seeking and sleeping in Old Trafford? I did. Bay and Alaba will be the best defence in the league, said somebody there. Is Memphis starting, says Memphis 10 HD. Dream on. The team is Romero in goal, Valencia right back, Jones and Blin centre backs, Luke Shaw left back, Carrick anchor in the midfield, Pogba and I think Rooney, Mata on the right, Mkhitaryan on the left, yes, and then Zlatan up front. Memphis is on the bench with Lingard and Rashford and Fellaini and Rojo and Herrera and De Gea. Mark, who do you think will sign at right wing, says Ziad. I think we do need to sign another winger. It's interesting, we're talking about that with the live comments a few minutes ago, and we were talking about it with Ross, and Ross was saying, a lot of people did want us to sign a right midfielder in the summer, even though we had Mkhitaryan. And I like the look of that Lozano in the Mexican League, but we were also linked to Draxler, Adamunis at Bordeaux, and a few others. And even James Rodriguez, who can play out wide. I know people think he's a number 10, which he is, but he can play out wide. And I think that's where we've struggled this season. You think at times we've been playing Lingard and Rashford. That's worrying. Martial, who's not been great. Mkhitaryan, who's been frozen out for whatever reason. So we've been, Matt has probably been our most consistent wide player, and I don't think he's a wide player. So I think we do need to sign somebody. I think we're massively light in that area. I've got a bit of a cold tonight. That's why I'm blowing my noses, by the way. I haven't heard from Marcus. I was hoping he was going to drop on, which would be good. Please do drop us a like. The way the watch along works very quickly is underneath the 0-0 scoreline, the timer will start when the game starts. We used to have a guest on. We don't do that anymore because it's massively about the live comments box when we're live. Obviously, I will be talking through the game. If you're not able to watch the game, then don't worry, we'll keep you up to date with all the major things that are going on. If you are watching the game, however you're watching it, you can sync in with our timer, whether it's just pausing yours or whatever to sync in with us. But basically, it's the number 1 United Stand watch along, and it is about fan interaction. What we look for from you is what you think's working, what you think we can change, who you're happy with, who you're not happy with, and just general thoughts on the game. And if you want to throw in a few funny lines, we'll copy and paste them and tweet them out as well. So very interactive and very about you. But however, we're still half an hour away from kickoff. This is the trouble with Europa League games. You go live a lot earlier because the team news comes out about 15 minutes before it does for Premier League 1. F1 chat. The channel grow faster and faster. Happy for you guys, but hard to follow, says Rasta Tone. It will slow down a bit, don't worry, mate. I think a lot of people. Erin McKenna, I've liked and subbed, so please do you like Celtic? Well, thanks for subscribing to the channel. If you are new, I know we get a lot of new people when we do the watch-alongs. Do subscribe to the channel because we do a lot of live content, and then you'll get notifications of when we go live. And liking the video is basically because we read so many live comments out. You're a massive part of the show. Do I like Celtic? If I'm going to be totally honest with you, Erin, I probably prefer Rangers. Nothing to do with religion or anything like that. Just when I was growing up, Rangers had a lot of England players in their team. Chris Woods, Gary Stevens, Trevor Steven, Mark Haitley, Gascoigne, people like that. So that's why I preferred Rangers. However, I lived in Ireland for 3 years, and all my friends are passionate Celtic fans because that's what happens in the south of Ireland. So I'm not massively on either side, but if you were pushing me, I'd probably, just because when I was younger, Rangers. Mark, you haven't been on Fan TV for a while, says LaRusso. No, I haven't. Do you watch the game? Yes, I do. I am new. Have a game of the best. Welcome to the channel. Daniel Fordham preferred Celtic because he's part Irish. Aberdeen over Rangers, says Nishman. Sir Alex Connection. Rangers forever, says Novo. I like the team tonight, says MUFC forever. Hopefully Romero has a good game. Why? He's never going to take over from De Gea. I mean, maybe he's saying it because if he has a bad game, we might lose. Do you like Hibs, says FIFA Pro 21. One of my friends at school was a massive Hibernian fan. No, he was a Hearts fan, same city. I think I used to support Hibs because I didn't like him much. I only love United, says Gio. Mojo Hammer, who are Celtic? There's only one team in Glasgow. Nerd Without Glasses, what's the name of the Duncan Edwards biography? Oh God, I have got it. I'll dig that out for you if we get another guest on. I'm trying to hopefully get Mad Marcus on just to give me a little bit of a rest, because it's a long time, and but I'm really excited about Mkhitaryan tonight. That's the main thing for me. Really, I'm excited about that, and it's not that long till West Ham, which for me is the most important game of the two. We really need to win that, but I want to win both. Marcus, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mike, loud and clear.
Cool. Might just need to talk up a little bit. What's your thoughts on the team? What are you thinking?
I actually think it's a missed opportunity, to be perfectly honest. I think Mkhitaryan playing is good, but I would really like to have seen Martial instead of Rooney, because if Rooney's going to play 10, he's just going to slow everything up.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who they pick out of that three, Mata, Mkhitaryan, and... Well, Mata can't play on the left, so he's either going to play on the right or at number 10. I think it'll be Rooney at 10, Mkhitaryan on the left, and Mata on the right. Do you think that's what will happen, or do you think they'll do it somewhere else?
Well, I think, yeah, that's what will happen, but I would have loved to have seen Mkhitaryan at 10, Mata on the right, and Martial on the left. I mean, that to me is just pace, creativity, it's dynamic. I can't see anywhere them going backwards passing, and I think they would put the ball in the box. I think Mkhitaryan's going to, without a doubt. And I also think it's a missed opportunity as well, not having Darmian in there for Valencia, because we would have had Darmian at right back, Luke Shaw at left back, we would have had Blind centre back on the left, and we would have had Jones centre back on the right. So it would have been a balanced defence as well. And I just think it would have been a decent opportunity to have all this on there. We've not seen it yet. So I do think it's a missed opportunity, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Darmian not involved, no Thuzu Menza. Jared Fair says there, has Herrera been dropped? I don't think Herrera gets dropped. I think he's one of Mourinho's favourite players. So I think he's more being rested, really, which I agree with. I would have rested Carrick as well. The Darmian one's interesting. I suppose the only thing is with Valencia is that he's not, he has been injured, so maybe he's playing him to get some fitness. But what was I going to ask? I just saw a comment there that was quite interesting, but it's whizzed by. How do you think the game's going to go, Marcus? Are you confident we'll win it, or do you think we're all excited about Mkhitaryan, we're all talking about how many goals we're going to score, but I don't think anybody's actually considered that we might have a bad game.
No, this is it. I think for Mkhitaryan, he's got to have a good game, without a doubt. He's not played. Well, he's only played once, and he's come on for a half, hasn't he? Since we've had him. So I think, yeah, he's got to have a good game, without doubt. I think as well, the way the game's going to play, I think with Carrick in the holding midfield zone, I think there's a good balance there in the midfield for control, for a lot of possession and a lot of forward passes. But on the subject of Carrick, just quickly, I would have preferred to have seen Morgan Sneijderlin get a run in there tonight, just to see if he was in Mourinho's plans at all. Obviously, he's not in there. So I think he's one of them that's going to be out the door soon. I know Memphis is on the bench. I think he's going to be going. I can't see him coming on unless we're trailing, losing the game. Ashley Young not on the bench. I'm disappointed Fosu's not on there. That could have been a good chance to try him out tonight. But if you look at it on the flip side, it could come down to it is a must-win game, isn't it? He said yesterday we need 4 points. So we can't afford to lose it. So would you have trust Fosu Mensah in there?
Yeah, I think that's a valid point. I don't think Jose Mourinho is, unfortunately, he's not the sort of manager who is going to chuck a Fosu Mensah into a starting lineup for this sort of game. However, much people want to criticise Van Gaal, and I could do it all night. He probably would. He probably would play a youth player, but that's not what Jose's going to do. He's not going to do it. And I think anybody who came into this thinking he would, you're always going to be disappointed. But he has played Mkhitaryan. That's the positive for me. I do agree with, Martial was pulled off after an hour against Arsenal. It's nothing to do with resting him. Mourinho clearly wasn't happy with him, and a lot of fans weren't happy with him. And he's not involved in a game today that sort of would have been ideal for him to play, because I don't think we'll see Martial in the squad on Sunday. Now I can't see it at all. But I am really excited about the team. I think Mkhitaryan, as I said, has got players around him. You know what? He could have played Mkhitaryan tonight with Fellaini and Memphis, who are players who not been playing that well. And then the pressure's on him to perform on his own. The great thing about Mkhitaryan tonight starting, as well as him starting, is he's got players around him who they're going to be hopefully on his level. Mata, Zlatan, Carrick, Pogba. These are players that should make it far easier for him.
Well, this is it. There's a lot of creativity in that side. I mean, it's just that if he's putting them in the right positions, it could be very, very dangerous for the opposition. I mean, we know Mkhitaryan, the best in Europe last season. We know Mata is absolutely sensational at number 10. And if Rooney is out on the left, then it's just slow. We've got one side that is just slow. I mean, if Rooney's in the middle, then everything's got to go through him. It's slow again, and he's too much involved in the game at number 10. So that's where I think it's a missed opportunity to have pace and dynamic in that front three behind Zlatan, because Zlatan's not the quickest, but he can hold the ball up. And if we got the pace of Mkhitaryan going one side, Martial going the other, I think that would have caused all sorts of problems, considering they've got a makeshift defence tonight as well, haven't they?
They have,
yeah. So I think that's what it's all about. A lot of pace, a lot of balls into the box. I mean, Zlatan, he's over 6 foot and he's 6'5", something like that. So I think Mkhitaryan gets them crosses in. We know how good he is passing. We know how good he is crossing and creating goals. It's just you've got to give him the ball. And hopefully they give him the ball. And we see what this lad can do, So
yeah, I'd agree. I mean, you're getting me more excited about it. I mean, I was more excited anyway. Zane Doley says Mickey is the piece that we missed. Push and bag, Mickey's best opportunity to shine. Michael shouts, Mourinho needs to stop making drastic changes every match, which makes me laugh because he never used to make any changes at Chelsea when they're successful. But I think this just
sorry, but you got to remember there he'd been in the job, and he'd already had a settled side in mind. Right, he's come into United here, and we've got 2 squads, possibly even 3, with the amount of players we've got. And he's still trying to figure out who to keep, who to let go. And it's all right saying, we're going to buy Griezmann, we're going to buy this Diego Godin guy and Haldez and everyone else. But we got to get rid of these players first. And let's face it, not many clubs are that stupid to take Fellaini or Jones. Right? So we got to hopefully get rid of them to bring in the new.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'm just having a quick look at some of the comments.
Someone's just said here, what do I think the score will be?
Oh, go on,
I think it's going to be 3-1, mate. I think Zlatan's going to get 2, and I think Mickey's going to get an assist. I don't think he's going to score, but I'm hoping he'll get an assist, and Zlatan will get 2 of them.
I just read a funny comment there from LaRusso. It's a shame football clubs don't do Black Friday. Griezmann for 30 million. Invisible Ghost, really hope Mkhitaryan has a good game. I think we all do. I bet Pogba scores, says T-Dog Man.
I've got a question for you, Mark.
Go on then.
Actually. What do you think about that conference yesterday that he did, saying that they're going to take up the extra year option on Zlatan already?
I like Zlatan, and I think he is going to come into form, so I think it will be irrelevant. But I do appreciate, we have to be quite balanced, and I do see a lot of negative comments from some United fans about Zlatan. Quite derogatory. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. I think we haven't seen the best of him, but I've always been a fan of his, and I think we will see a decent Zlatan. I think he keeps himself remarkably fit, and I don't think there'll be much difference in a year. Somebody said it earlier though, and we'll see tonight. There's not a lot of pace in that United side. I think Mkhitaryan and Pogba permitting, and they're not super fast, but they are quick players. I think there's a lack of. Zlatan worries me because of a lack of pace, but you hit the nail on the head. We don't put enough. You look at what, and I know we gave him the freedom of Manchester, but you look at that ball that Oxlade-Chamberlain put in for Giroud on Saturday, and that's the sort of ball we need to do 4 or 5 times a game with someone like Zlatan, and he will score. We've not been putting any decent crosses in. We had somebody on Skype, Goldbridge, a couple of weeks ago who said we haven't done it for 5 years. We've got a player in Zlatan who, he showed it again the Community Shield, he showed it against Southampton, against people like Wes Morgan who were dominant last year, and Fonte. He'll bully them.
Yep.
You've got to put the ball in the box though.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree with it. But do you think we've got the players though to put the ball in the box that can that cross in like a Beckham or a Giggs?
I don't think we have at the moment. I think surprisingly we've struggled down the wings, which is why I'm hoping Mkhitaryan plays out wide tonight, because he can play at number 10, but we need to put some balls in the box. Valencia's played really, really well, but we know his crossings is poor. Luke Shaw, he can certainly put a decent cross in on FIFA 17, but I don't know whether he can in real life. I think we just lack somebody putting decent crosses into the box, and I think that is taking a massive part away from Zlatan. I don't think Zlatan's massively different to what he was 10 years ago, because he's not somebody who relies on pace. I think the problem is we're not playing to his strengths, and if we can see that as fans, then Jose will know it as well. But he's got to find the players to be able to do that. Funnily enough, I think Ashley Young's probably one of the best crossers of the ball, but he never seems to play on the wing. He seems to come and play as a fullback.
Well, yeah, he's always a left back in at the minute. But I think, can you think of anyone at the minute who is, a reasonable choice that we could go for that has a crossing ability like we used to?
There's not that many in world football anyway who are just absolutely brilliant at putting crosses into the box. But this is why and it would surprise maybe go and buy a right back who can do it. Push Valencia forward to right midfield, because I like Seamus Coleman. He can put a cross in, and it doesn't have to come from your wide man. It can come from your fullback. Gary Neville was very good at set pieces and at crossing. I mean, we were spoilt down the right because you'd have Beckham and Neville both could put a cross in, and that was a nightmare to defend against. Di Maria, Call United, very good point. He was excellent at putting a cross in the box. Unfortunately, this didn't work out. So there are players out there that can do it, and I'd be amazed if we. I personally think that in January we'll try and sign 3 players. I think we'll definitely sign 2. A centre back and maybe a right back or a right midfielder, but I think we will go for at least 2, and we might get 3.
Thing is, Mark, I would say just go for a centre back in January, because you know the difference in calibre of players that are available between January and the summer. So would you go for a quick fix in January? I mean, I'm seeing Van Dijk. Is that him, the Southampton guy? I mean. I think, would you go for him in January, or would you wait until the summer and possibly get Manolas, as you like?
I do like Manolas. I think Liverpool are in for Van Dijk as well, which is interesting, and they've got good links with Southampton. But I'm excited. I really enjoy the transfer stuff. If you watch United Stand, we've always been big on that. We've started last night with another one, and we'll start building it towards January, and then we'll be every night with the transfer show, because that's what we do when it's transfer season. But I just have a feeling, as I said last night, that we'll make a big signing, and I think we'll make a couple of surprise signings. Maybe people that we've just not really mentioned, or not even mentioned at all. I mean, there's a defender at Roma who's German, who's very good. His name escapes me. People mention people like Howardies, Socrates. I just don't think we can go and do an Alaba or a Jimenez from Atletico Madrid, because they're in the Champions League. They won't happen. I think it's got to be somebody who it's a step up. So Van Dijk at Southampton, Coleman at Everton, Unis at Bordeaux, Irving Lozano over in I think it's Panuca in Mexico. So yeah, that sort of thing. Anyway, I will let you get back to
Yes,
the
mate.
live comments. Thanks for coming on, Marcus.
Right, no worries. Have a good show, and I'll see you soon.
Cheers, pal. Thanks for coming
Cheers.
on.
Later.
I've neglected the live comments, so I'm going to go back to it now. There is a comment that sort of stood out to me, but I'm going to take a few. Bam Bam, unless you're a new subscriber licking Mark's arse, you don't get a comment read on here. And Marcus is literally asking everything they ever answered already. Bam Bam, obviously in a bad mood. But you've been read out. I'm going to read some of the comments now. Welcome to the United Stand if you're new. We do watch-alongs for every single Manchester United game. We go live an hour before when the team news, and then we speak about United for the hour before. The topical things like we have about Mourinho and how long he's going to be here, Zlatan. Massive news about Mkhitaryan starting. And then when the game starts, it really is about reading your live comments out more and more because I want to know what you think about the game we're all going to be watching. If you're new to the United Stand, please do subscribe. Very easy to do. There's a hologram in the bottom right-hand corner. We do live content every day. Last night at 8:30, we were doing a transfer show. The night before that was the preview for this. Monday night at 8:30 is Skype Goldbridge, which is basically just loads of you lot coming in that corner, Skyping in and asking what you want. Sunday Night Live is like our weekend review. There's stuff every night. So the United Stand, we're the only 100% independent Manchester United fan channel, and it is 100% about your fan opinion. So get involved in it, and the bigger we get, the bigger your voice gets, because that's what it's all about. LaRusso, remember Mark, out of the 50 goals Zlatan scored last season, only one of those was a header. He's underrated with his feet. Very, very good point. Very, very good point. He is an absolutely fantastic player with his feet, and I'd agree with that. But also, he's fantastic in the air, and I think in the Premier League, not enough people are putting balls into the box, and we should use that asset. Lots of empty seats at the match, says Bart O'Callaghan. I'm not surprised. I mean, I get offered tickets all the time. Obviously, I don't go because we do the watch-alongs. People don't seem to like that, but if I went to games, we wouldn't have watch-alongs. But I've never been offered so many tickets as I have for the last week, and we would tweet them out on the United Stand channel, but I don't know the legality of doing that, so we never do. But literally loads. Invisible Ghost, United Stand for life. Is Morgan Gibson, how do you feel like someone like Michael Keane from Burnley as a centre back? Interesting. No pun intended. Well, that's a funny name, because then what he says is, Mark, are you happy with Nottingham Forest season is going? You know what? I genuinely don't know what Nottingham Forest are doing this season, because I don't support Nottingham Forest. I know what Aston Villa are doing because I work with people who are Villa fans and we talk about football, but I don't know where Forest are in the Championship. I think I've heard that Villa are 6 points off the playoffs. That's about as much as I can tell you. Oh, and there's a Newcastle fan as well. Apparently they're top, but I don't take any notice of that. Nice comment from Maggie G. I'm glad that got blocked. Ibra to LA Galaxy says Stents. Thanks, Vihan, for the comment. Great channel, Mark, says Ishan. It's your channel. Mark, why don't we overlap anymore? Michael shows. Good point. Good point. We don't seem to do it. The fullbacks don't get forward, but we need to put balls into the box. People hate it, and it's got to be the right sort of ball box as well. Daniel Sheehan, I seriously want Di Maria back. We definitely bought him at the wrong time. He can put a cross into the box. I think he'd be very good in the Premier League. And he was very good for his first few games. He just destroyed by Van Gaal, but so many players were. You know, you look at Herrera and Mata this season, and then you look at them under Van Gaal, and you know, we were talking about maybe it's best Mata sold in the summer, because for the last 2 years, and what we'd seen in Mata, I know his stats were quite good, but he wasn't particularly great under Moyes. He was poor under Van Gaal. He comes and, you know, get a new manager, starts to play like the Mata we know, and he's one of the best players in the league again. Kyle Beats, Shaw needs a performance tonight. He does. Mickey should not be playing left tonight, says Alvin Hay, but you know, at least he's playing. Is the game over? No, it's not even started. Man United Salford Reds, I totally agree with you there. In fact, I'll just mention that because we're still 10 minutes off the kickoff, and I was asked this by somebody on the live comments, so I'm gonna. And I know it's been mentioned elsewhere, but I answer to you. I don't really take any notice of what people say elsewhere. And although the United Stand months ago used to get into a lot of, I would say, arguments with other outlets, and I think we used to respond to that sort of thing because our thought was, well, maybe they'll be man enough to invite us on there, or they'll come on here, and that's not how it works. So we just thought, well, there's no point in responding to stuff. Everyone's a United fan. We don't want any issues with anybody else. And if people start taking a pop at us, we're not going to get involved in that. And we don't take pops at others anymore, because we never should have done that in the first place. But in answer to what somebody said a few minutes ago, do you believe there is such thing as United quality? Well, this is something that I've always said. And you can have your own opinion, but I believe that there is such thing as United quality. For me, it's like Sir Alex Ferguson said it in his book. Brian Kidd said we should sign John Hartson when John Hartson was banging in goals for West Ham. And Sir Alex Ferguson said to him, have a think about, that is he's doing a lot of things, but there's a certain quality of player that needs to play for United. Now, granted, we've made a mistake over the last few years buying players that I believe are not United quality. Fellaini is just not a United quality player. Whatever you think about him, he's just not. I've heard people mentioning Defoe. Well, Defoe wasn't a United quality player when he was in his prime. We never went for him. Sir Alex Ferguson never wanted him. Why would we want somebody who's been playing in the MLS and probably went to the MLS a bit early, but Defoe at Manchester United having a laugh? This is where we're going wrong. This is what Mourinho will sort out, and what Sir Alex Ferguson had down to a T. There are players that will do well in the Premier League, but we need to get back to that. Are they United quality players, or are they just players that are quite good? And I would put someone like Riyad Mahrez into that equation. Now, he had a very good last year. He's been this year. Now, last year, if you watched United Stand, I said, a lot of people said they want Mahrez, and I was saying, I'm not convinced he's a top 4 quality player, because I just think he might have just had a good season, and it's all about what he does this season. But certainly, there's lots of players out there that are good players that I would say they're not United quality. There is, for me, and it's an absolute compliment to the club, there is a certain quality of United quality player. And when I say they're not United quality, I mean that they're not the sort of player that are, one, going to take us up to a level that are better than what we've got, or two, they're not the sort of player that's going to win us titles. They're not title-winning players. There's fantastic players out there, but they're not title-winning players. And I'm trying to, you could name more than I could, but George Kyle, Defoe wasn't United quality. He wasn't, and he's certainly not now. Kickoff is imminent. It's in 9 minutes. Somebody's saying Lukaku for 45 million or Griezmann for 100 million. That's from Mohamed Hook. Is Lukaku top United quality? I know I said at the start of last season I would like him. I watched him a lot last year, and especially in the Everton games, and I thought, you know what? He's a bit of a big game bottler. This season, he's scored a load of goals, but then recently, he's been a bit off. I'm not convinced by Lukaku. I mean, he might prove me wrong. I'm not definite, right? But Jacko says that Zlatan's not United quality. I think he is. Fellaini is United hypnotist. I don't know what it was. What would you change about the lineup, Andrew van der Mark? Tonight, what would I change about the lineup tonight? I probably wouldn't have played Carrick, not because I don't love Carrick, because I do. I probably wouldn't have played Carrick just because I want him to play against West Ham. But if he plays an hour tonight, he'll play against West Ham on Sunday, so let's keep an eye on that. I don't want Holmes under the hammer on. Might see Dion Dublin. I'm just setting the telly up. I'd like to see Tony Martial playing, because I think he was subbed off against Arsenal because he didn't play very well. And I want him. I think tonight is the sort of game where you could play him and play him into the team. But apart from that, I'm very happy with the team. I'd like to see Fosu Mensah on the bench. But to be honest, I'm not negative about the team, and I'm trying not to be negative about United in general at the moment, because I do 100% back this manager. He's got an amazing ability, and it sounds really stupid for me to say this, because he's got an amazing ability to make you believe in him, even though the performances haven't been bad. And I back Mourinho anyway. What I will do is I will be critical about decisions that I don't agree with. I'm sure we're all like this. Just because you like somebody and you respect them doesn't mean you don't disagree with things that they do, whether that's your wife, your partner, your mother, your girlfriend, or whatever. In life, I implore you, I'm quite old, don't just go along with the status quo just because you believe or respect somebody. Mourinho has made mistakes this season, and I've been quite vocal about it, but ultimately I back him, and ultimately I don't think there's anybody better for the job. But I would like to have seen Martial play today. I do have concerns about that, but the big thing that makes me happy, if I'm 7 out of 10 disappointed about Martial, I'm 10 out of 10 happy that Mkhitaryan's playing. And ultimately, if I had the choice of Fosu Mensah and Martial not being involved today because Mkhitaryan's starting, I'd go with Mkhitaryan starting. I'm so happy about that, and I'm really excited. This is the time of the show where I start feeding some information to you. Obviously, when we go live, I'm looking for you lot to, commenting on the game, what you think's working, what you think's not working. Tactical stuff's always great to read out, and some of you come out with some great stuff. What I'll be looking for, because I always tell you, Mkhitaryan, obviously. I don't think we need to worry about that defensive midfield position because we've got Michael Carrick playing. Luke Shaw, looking at him for sure. So those two positions, and also what I'm really looking at is our finishing tonight, because I think that's the thing that's cost us them 6 points against Burnley, Leicester and Arsenal. I'm taking it for granted that we are going to create chances. The one thing we've not been doing very well this season is finishing, and I will be looking at our finishing tonight and hoping that we do put some of these chances away, because we need to, and that's where the confidence will come. Looking at the table, Fenerbahce have won already, so they're on 10 points and we're on 6. So we need to beat Feyenoord tonight. We sort of knew that anyway, didn't we? We do need to beat Feyenoord, and I think we can. If we don't win, I think we're in big trouble. Although we probably could go to Zoya, so it's not. We'd probably beat Zoya over there, and then they've got Fenerbahce. But if they beat Fenerbahce, we would be out, so it'd be out of our hands. So we need to win tonight. I think we all know that. I expect us to win. I've said 3 or 4-1 because I'm being confident. What are your lot score predictions? I've not asked you lot now. We're massively moving towards you lot. But before kick-off, I just want to say, there's 2 things I want to say to you. Please like the video, because we always like to hit 1,000 likes on the watch-alongs on Skype Goldbridge, because it's massively all about you. And if you are new to the United Stand, which I know a lot of you will be, subscribe to the channel, please. We always have live comments up on the screen. We always do shows where we try to get you involved, and we'll always say it how it is and implore you to do it. So get involved with the United Stand. It is a fan channel, and it's everything with you, nothing without you. So please do get involved. And the bigger the channel gets, the bigger your voice gets. Now, whilst you're flying in your scores, and I'm looking at them, somebody just said 5-0 there. Who was that? Kurt R says 5-0. Well, hope you're right, Kurt, because that's 4-0 no problemo, says Andrew Thompson. What I'm going to do is just the timer. I'm going to explain the timer for those who are new. So the timer at the moment is just started. That will start when the game kicks off. It's not started yet. So if you are watching us live, I will let you know when the game starts. We're live streaming, so because it's YouTube and any live streaming service, it's very difficult to be synced time for time, which is why we have the timer. What a lot of people do is they pause their coverage of wherever they're watching it to sync in with us to get the best experience from a watch along, which you can do. Loads of people saying 3-0, 3-1, 2-0, 3-1. Lynn Hall, I always like to read a comment from her. Well said, Mark. Those calling fans for being critical are ridiculous. Football is about opinions, not acting like sheep. Fans criticise because they care and want their team to succeed and show passion. Couldn't have put it better myself. That's exactly what the United Stand's all about. I can't stand these people who say, love, support your team, win, lose or draw. Well, you support your team, but you're allowed to be critical because that shows that you care. That's what I think about fan opinion. And if we got beat 4-0 tonight, do you think we'd all be sat there at the end of the show when you're Skyping in going, you know what, we should just support the team? We won't. We'll be passionate because we care. Scholes Legend 18 is assuming that Mata plays at number 10. We'll have to wait and see. 6-0 says Jacob, and DJ Madras says 8-0, probably just because he wanted me to notice it and shout it out. Good saves from the goalkeeper, SpongeBob. Zlatan will score today, says Siraj. A lot of people doing that. Rooney beard, says Kyle Brady. Yeah, he's gone a bit beardy. Rooney captain, yeah, obviously. Is Rooney playing on the left? We don't know. That's one of the first things we'll be shouting out as soon as the game starts, is how we fix. But I'm massively keeping an eye on Mkhitaryan. Thanks for everybody who just liked the video, because we've shot up from 350 to 462, which is great. Let's just have a look at something that I always try to promote when we're on a watch along. Okay, we are We are 84 subscribers away from 52,500. So if you've not subscribed to the channel, The United Stand, please do. And we might have a little announcement to make whilst we're live on the show. That would be nice, wouldn't it? That would be nice. So click subscribe. The game is about to kick off. I'm just filling time, but it would be nice if you subscribed, because what I like is I like the new people who come along when we're doing a watch along, because then what I want to see happening is I want them people to then be joining us again on a Sunday night at 8:30, or on a preview show or something like that, or Skyping in on Skype Goldbridge on a Monday, or after the show tonight. So that's why I like doing the watch alongs, because we seem to pick up new viewers who become aware of the United Stand, and we've always grown off word of mouth. So mention it to United mates and everything like that, and get people involved, because the more people we get involved, the more new content ideas we can use that we've always been thinking of using. The game's about to kick off. I need to get to the clock. Right, Pogba's in the centre circle. We're about to kick off. We're off. Time has gone. And we're away with another watch along. Let's get it on, folks. Okay, I'm going to try and figure out who's playing where. Yeah, Mkhitaryan's on the left, Rooney's number 10, and Mata's on the right. So it's as we predicted, isn't it, really? Chuckawan Orgy wanted a shout out. Manchester United will win, says Sponge Bob. Man United are the best, says Met Henriksen. Nathan Eliano says you should put a subscriber count on your setup. That'd be good. That's a good idea, isn't it? I'll have to look into that. I've never thought of that. Give the ideas. The time is up and running, Mokan. Don't worry about that. And Chocolate Thunder, I like that name. Excited to see Mickey playing. United on the attack at the moment, and we've actually put a cross into the box, which Zlatan has won, and it very nearly dropped to Mkhitaryan. Oh, what a start that would have been. It's a shame. It was a really deep and high cross from Rooney. Zlatan right on the back post, heading it back into the 6-yard box, and it sort of just fell just past Mkhitaryan. What a start that would have been. But very early days to say it, but we could have been 1-0 up there. And we look like we're moving the ball around well, which has not been United's problem. For all the negativity, our problem hasn't been the football we've been playing and the creativity. It's been putting the ball in the back of the net, which I want to see us doing tonight. Zlatan on the edge of the box. Mata, Valencia, time to do that little dinky cross. Pogba over the bar. So good couple of chances, and just tweeting out the sort of the way we're lining up with Rooney at 10. But it's a good cross from Pogba, and I think it went for a corner. No, it's a goal kick. But Valencia with that little dinky cross that. It's a corner, that is. It's off the head of the Feyenoord defender. I thought it was a corner. But it's a goal kick. But it's a decent start. We're only 2 minutes in, and we've put a good couple of crosses into the box, which is something that we were saying we don't do enough of. We've done it twice in the first 2 minutes. Blue Monkey 07 wants me to say hi to him. Rooney should be a WWE superstar, says Wetner Gaming. Who is your favourite player, says Water Bottle Flip. If I had £1 for everybody who asked me about that. My favourite player at Manchester United at this moment in time, it's difficult because I don't think many players have actually performed that well over the last 3 years. So my default position is to go for Rashford because he's exciting. He's come through the youth system, and he's a Manchester player, isn't he? He's come through that youth system, and he's exciting. And I think that's what United are always about. I think the potential for somebody to be my favourite player is somebody like Herrera or a Mkhitaryan or a Pogba. But they've got to do it, and they've got to do it week in, week out. Great start from United, says Marcus. Let's get Hernandez back. Absolute hero, says Ryan Genter. He put the ball in the back of the net. I tell you what, whatever you think about Hernandez, and I wasn't opposed to us getting rid of him because at the time I thought we'd go and the players we'd bought in, like Falcao and all that lot, they would work out. But whatever you think about Hernandez, if we'd had him in the last couple of games, I think, oh, go on, Mkhitaryan's made a good run here. Zlatan could have put him in. He's gone a bit selfish there. Mkhitaryan won it, gave it to Zlatan, and all he had to do was give it him back. And Pogba shoots over the box. We're being a bit, I'm not going to be negative, but we're being a bit poor with the final ball again there. You know, it was a bad ball by Feyenoord. Mkhitaryan jumps in, heads it to Zlatan, runs into space, and Zlatan decides to ignore that, which worries me. I mean, Ross said it, didn't he, before the game? Maybe Mkhitaryan's not a popular player in the squad. I don't know whether anyone's ever played football, but if you don't like somebody, you tend to not give him the ball, and I did notice that in the Fenerbahce game, and that was certainly from Zlatan there. He should have given him the ball back, so keep an eye out on that. Luke Gill says should show the match and talk over the commentary. Luke, you do realise if we showed the game, we'd be shut down as a channel tomorrow. We can't do it. We'd love to do it, but we can't do that. You can't do it. There's a reason only certain channels show the football, and that's because they've paid millions and millions of pounds to do it. Something the United stand at the moment in time can't afford to do. I would love to do it, absolutely love to do it, but we can't. So we do a watch along. But it's a decent opening 5 minutes from United. Feyenoord probably quite aware that a point would suit them. Having said that, I don't really rate Feyenoord. I didn't think they were great in the fixture at their place. I just think we didn't create enough chances. Here's Rooney in down the right. It's not a bad first touch from him. Goes off for him a goal kick. Bit unlucky. I think Rooney does... I don't know what people think though. I think Rooney does look a little bit sharper over the last couple of games. And I don't know whether that's... You know... I always said at the time, I mean, I don't want to talk about it really, the drinking and that, because I don't agree with any player drinking during a season to excess like that. You know, it's just not a good idea to do it. But the positive from it could be that he's really annoyed with the press, which I think he is, and the only way to silence them is to play well, which benefits United. SpongeBob loves Rooney, just said it. But Mkhitaryan's looking fast, closing the ball down. I want us to feed Mkhitaryan a bit. Struggling to get the ball back a bit here. Carrick will get there. Into Mkhitaryan. Decent first touch into Rooney. The thing I like about Mkhitaryan is he's got great poise. And he's two-footed. Final ball. A little bit wasteful from Mata there. Feed Mkhitaryan. We want to. My score prediction, Lethal Fusions, was 3 or 4-1 to United. Cougar Rooney Jr. says, is it just me, or are the players already avoiding passes to Mkhitaryan? Keep an eye on that. I noticed it against Fenerbahce, and I've sort of noticed it in this game already. But it's a bit early to sort of say that at the moment. I've seen it twice in this game though already. Jacob Mendelsohn. Mark, remember how Rooney never looks at Mickey? I'm seeing it again. Yeah, well, it's early. Let's just see. You know, we're not even 10 minutes in yet, but they've got to start giving him the ball. Again, Pogba could have actually given him the ball then and decides to go for a long ball. It's weird. But it's early on, and let's not start conspiracies. Peter Fern, can I have a shout out for Lolly? Did I get it right? Was it Lolly Fern or Lorry Fern? Probably Lolly. Man United. United will win 3-1, says Chukwani Orge. Mickey needs to get the ball. He has that skill, says Noel Commons. Yep, got to feed Mkhitaryan. In fact, I'm going to tweet that out. In fact, if anyone comes out with decent one-liners or that, I will happily tweet them off the Twitter account, because I do have access to it while we're live. Mkhitaryan again. No, yeah. But we need to pass to Mickey. And I think he's the key in this game. I think it'll fit him like a glove. Daily Blind into the left back. Now, is the left back looking to pass to Mkhitaryan? No, he's gone to Rooney. Rooney ignores him again. Pogba switches the play. I remember as well for Mkhitaryan, I think you've got to be fair, is that the left-hand side has been a bit of a poison chalice at United this season. We've used the right-hand side really well at times, none better than the Arsenal game. But we don't use the left, we use the right a hell of a lot. And we're doing it at the moment. I mean, Zlatan's basically a right back at the moment. Mata, Pogba, Mkhitaryan, into Rooney, into Mkhitaryan, into Rooney. into Mkhitaryan. It was that well. I think we've just dispelled that myth because the link-up play between Rooney and Mkhitaryan there was sensational. And this is what you get with Mkhitaryan. Little flicks, 1-2, very fast. He's the real deal, folks, Mkhitaryan. He really is the real deal. And Ramsey United said he's our best player. Done your Christmas shopping, anyone? I started mine today. It'll soon be upon us. Cutting edge on the nightstand. They don't like Mkhitaryan because he's Armenian, says no pun intended. I don't care who anybody is. You know, the great thing about football, whether you're a football fan or a football player, is especially at United, it unites everybody. Religion, wherever your nationality. You know, we've got so many different people involved in United as fans, and that's the great thing about United. And you know, the same with players. You know, offside there for them. Zlatan's playing awful, says Ramsey United. Who can beat Pogba, says Mohamed Raymond. No man. Matt, I mean, I like this team. You know, I think even Rooney's looked okay. I think it was very hard to judge Rooney against Swansea. I don't know what all you lot think, because I thought Swansea were absolutely atrocious. So that game, whoever played well in that, I mean, even Zlatan scored 2, and Pogba scored a great goal. But I think we all sort of dismissed it because it was like Swansea was so bad. Against Arsenal, everybody played well, but we threw the performance away. But tonight, you know, I think European football is a great indicator anyway, because I don't think any, you know, especially in the Europa League, most is Mkhitaryan on the ball again, so he's very fast as well. The great thing I like about Mkhitaryan is he's so fast with the ball. It's a real skill, and it sticks to him like glue. The only thing with Mkhitaryan, I don't know whether anybody plays FIFA 17, but it is quite realistic at times, is he's quite lightweight, although he got up and won the header well there. The important thing for Mkhitaryan for me tonight is that he doesn't play badly. I mean, if he can play 8 or 9 out of 10, brilliant. But even if he just does I think, you know, we don't want him to do average either, but if he can just do a 7 out of 10, just slightly better than average, it's something to build from, because our wingers have very rarely been 7 out of 10. Rooney ignoring Mkhitaryan again and trying a long ball. I think Rooney, when he's got time to think about it, doesn't want to pass to Mkhitaryan. Oh, lovely little play there from Mkhitaryan. Again, Blind could have played a simple ball to him. Trust him. I don't know, maybe it's a trust issue. Look at the camera, says Ulfric, not up. The trouble is, the pitch is up for me. I will try and look up and down, but I am watching the match as well. Christoph Damon, can't hear. Everybody else can. Turn your volume up. We need to win tonight, says Mohammed. Mkhitaryan has great agility, lads, says Morgan Gibson. Oh, yes, he does. And it's out for a throw for United. Valencia as our blessed player. He's amazing, says Andrew McGuigan. Well, we're only 12 minutes in, and I think for me, and I know we are obviously going to be slightly biased, I've just been impressed with Mkhitaryan, because he's a bit like Carrick. He's just a footballer, and he very rarely gives the ball away. So we should be using him. And surprise, surprise, Carrick gives it to Mkhitaryan. Slightly overhit, but Pogba wins it. The cross is poor. Corner ball. Rooney just looks lost there, says Ridwan. Can I have a shout out, please, Mark? Says Nathan Lee. Of course you can, mate. Hi, Mark. How are you? Patrick Boyle says, I'm very well. Difficult week, I think, for those who joined me this Sunday. Obviously, I had that really bad news about a friend who died last weekend, but it doesn't go unnoticed. Anybody who watches the United Stand, the live comments, and being able to do the shows this week has been really quite therapeutic, because it's not been a great week, and life throws those sort of things up, and I want to move on from this bit very quickly. But I do appreciate everyone who gets involved in the United Stand, because I know there are channels out there who try to get going and they never have hardly anybody watching, and so it's never lost on me how lucky we are on the United stand, to have this community that we keep growing and building. And it certainly helped me this week. So thanks to all of you lot, and thanks for you all joining in again. Mickey looks like a flying machine, says Kevin H. What do you think of Mata, says Blue Monkey 07. I'm very, very, very much like him. Ashley Frankham says this is probably our best front six on their day. Yeah, I think Herrera's got to be in there, hasn't he, at the moment? But I agree with what you're saying. On their day, Rooney at his best is probably better than Herrera, isn't he? We just haven't seen Rooney at his best for so long. United we are. Shout outs, please. A few of you saying sorry because they hadn't heard the news. Don't worry about it. I don't know when the funeral is, actually. Just thinking out loud. Funerals just take so long in this country. Mkhitaryan nearly putting a decent cross into Zlatan. We haven't really had a clear-cut chance yet. Thanks to Cool Guy, Jay Filaci and Josh Hodgson. Jordan Curley, sorry for being away from the channel. We've all got lives to live. That's just for Daily Blind at the moment. What was I going to say? I was going to say something there. I mean, in all seriousness, I don't really have a massive problem with Fellaini. My problem with Fellaini is I've just never thought he was a United player, and the sooner we get rid of him, the better. But you know what? I don't even mind if he's on the bench as an option in the last 10 minutes if we need to get a goal late on. But my frustration is when we play, when we start him, because Rooney had a bad touch and a bad pass there, but Pogba's looking good. Oh, he can't get past him there. It's not a foul either. But you see this front six, and this is what Manchester United should be all about. We've got good footballers with good speed of movement, and Fellaini just can't give you that. Oh God, Rooney's having a bit of a mare. He's had an awful 3 minutes there. I don't want anyone else. I'm sort of looking at the live comments. He had a pass where he fell over, then he got up and passed it to a Feyenoord player, and I'm sure he just got nutmegged then. Come on, Wayne, we don't want to see that, mate. I mean, this is the problem with Rooney. It's not really. It's what I've come to suspect this season. I think a lot of people have as well. It's nothing to do with a hate thing, because I've always quite liked Rooney. It's just, is he so far gone on the decline that he just can't get it back? Noel Commons saying that Rooney needs to use the left more. I do. I think he's ignoring it, and I don't think he's playing well enough to ignore it. That's a decent. Nearly. He did try to use it there. To be fair, it's just a poor ball. Shout my name, says have a game of the best. Mickey was in, says King Ross. I think Wayne Rooney is drunk. Yeah, I'm not. Liam Horton Presley MFC. Mark opinions of De Gea off. I think he's just being rested, isn't he? Who do you think the best striker ever is, says Morden Gibson. The best striker ever? Such a hard question. I mean, because do you want me to start talking about people like Tommy Taylor, whose goal to games ratio for Manchester United was amazing, but obviously I never saw him play? Or are we talking about players that I've seen? And what do you find as a striker? Because Andy Cole at Newcastle and then at United was just unbelievable as a goal scorer. But then you've got people like Ronaldo from Real Madrid, who was just like the complete striker. Good work between Mickey and Pogba there, just over the bar. And the corner's taken quick. Clearance, Mkhitaryan. Oh, he hit it quite well. Carry it with time. Shoots. Oh, nearly. Keeper had a player behind him just to clear it off the line. Pogba's started off really well. I don't know what Zlatan's doing there. I don't think Zlatan and Rooney have. I want to see that Carrick shot again, but United are pressing really well at the moment. And Feyenoord are really struggling to get it out of their box. Ishmael, shout out. Look at the Zlatan skill there, says Max Lingwid. Here we have Mata on the edge of the box. Pogba I thought might shoot there, but he's put it out wide to the box to Zlatan. It's a decent ball, that is. It's a decent ball in. He's not happy. Mata and Mkhitaryan sort of going for the same ball, but it's a good start by United. It's a lovely little ball by Zlatan, and it's just ahead of Mkhitaryan. You can't blame him. And this is the trouble with United, as per usual. It's just that final third, whether it's the final pass or the final shot, even Carrick's shot there, just unlucky, not getting that final little bit of luck. This is a ball fest, says Groundsman76. I think it's, I love watching United at home. I think we've been a very good team at home pretty much since Mourinho started. I think about the Leicester game, I think about the Stoke game, the Burnley game, the Arsenal game. We've played really good football, just not putting the ball in the back of the net. Imagine Di Maria playing in this team, says Anand, which, yeah, I'd agree with. Pogba probably trains his celebration instead of training to get better, says Gareth Powell. I think Pogba's had a good start to the game. Mark, who do you think we should sign, says Nathan Lee? A centre-back and another wide man. I think we really do need another wide man who can run at players and put crosses in the box. Or if no one like that's available, I'd go and get someone like Seamus Coleman who can put a cross in the box from right back. Feyenoord on the attack, but interception. Romero clears. Oh God, Rooney just gets mugged off so much, doesn't he? Oh, I'm not against Rooney tonight. I want him to play well, but he's not. Dirk Kuyt, tackled by Pogba. Mkhitaryan. Lost it. Mickey's like a whippet, says Brad McNamee. Trying to get... somebody said earlier, actually, if Mkhitaryan scores, will you do an Alan Pardew dad dance? Which I will. I'm happy to do that. I will dab when we sell Fellaini. I can't go back on that in the summer. I'm not a hypocrite. Somebody's saying we should have 100,000 subscribers. If we can get 100,000 subscribers, it would be amazing. I think we're on 42,000. We could get 42,500 tonight if any of you lot who haven't subscribed yet, just subscribe, whether you're new or whether you've been with us for a while. Please click the subscribe button because it'd be nice to get 42,500 whilst we're live. But you know what I'm excited about is that he has used Mkhitaryan tonight, and although we're only 20 minutes in, he has played well tonight. He's shown what I think a lot of us know about Mkhitaryan, who watched him at Dortmund and even in the pre-season friendly against Wigan. He's just, you can't take away from a footballer that natural poise and balance and speed of movement and speed of brain with the ball, and he's got it. He just needs to, whatever the issue's been at United, I just hope it sorts itself out. Pogba, offside. 1 million subscribers next year, says Sergej. Well, we don't advertise, so the United stand's always been growing organically by you lot spreading the word, and I'm sure each of you lot will know one or two United fans that you could just say to tomorrow or later on. Do you follow the United Stand on Twitter? Do you get involved with it on YouTube? That's the best way to grow, because it's alright, you can have 100,000 subscribers, but you might only get 5,000 people viewing your videos. And, I think it's more important how many people watch your videos. Subscribers can be a little bit misleading. Mata overhits the cross. That'll go for a goal kick. Do you think we'll get Alaba, says Josh Hodgson? I think Manchester United can sign anybody they want to. And I was saying this last night on the transfer show, which we're going to do more and more of those because I love talking about transfers. United can sign anybody they want to. And I realised, and a lot of us realised that last summer when we had no right to sign Pogba, and we did it. And I think Mkhitaryan and Zlatan to a certain extent, because we've never been that convincing in the transfer market, ever. So we can sign anybody. And I think in January, we will make a signing that none of us are expecting, whether it's someone like a James. I'm not saying it will be James Rodriguez. I used him as an example last night to say that I wouldn't be surprised if we go and make a big signing in January. We'll make signings 100%. Mourinho has said he needs a few transfer windows to sort it out. So why would you waste a transfer window in January? We will make signings. I don't think Alaba. Well, I know for a fact that Alaba, Griezmann, any Atletico Madrid player, anybody who's in the Champions League and playing for their team is not going to happen in January because, why would they leave? They've got the chance of a league title at their club. They've got a chance of a Champions League at their club, and a move to United is not going to give you that in January. It will do in the summer. So those sort of signings I think we'll make in the summer. And if you're asking me who we might sign in the summer, I think there's probably only 3 or 4 players that I would say we definitely can't sign, and they would be Ronaldo's, Bale's, Suarez, Messi, Neymar. I think anybody else is within possibility for United now because we are spending the money. We've got the sort of manager who likes to go and sign that sort of top quality player. So anything is possible. Mkhitaryan is essential, says Mark O. Get this guy on the pitch more. I'm going to copy and paste that and tweet it out because I think it's very much representative of what a lot of us are thinking. Rooney, deflected cross, went behind everybody, which is a shame. We just need the first goal in this. I think if we got the first goal, we'd be comfortable. But for whatever reason, my only concern with United is that we just don't get the goals our play deserves. And I'd say that in a very light way. Oh, God. Phil Jones just got ripped there. Nearly 1-0, straight at the keeper. And another good save. Bloody hell, we should have been 1-0 down. Great double save by Romero. Well, he's done himself a load of favours there. Couldn't put Marco's tweet out, which is a shame because I thought it was a good one. But it's so indicative of what we were just saying, wasn't it? That United, we should be 1-0 up. We've not really had a clear-cut chance, unfortunately, but far the better team. But we don't score enough goals. We need to start scoring goals, and I think in this game we haven't created enough anyway. But we do need to score more. That's a poor pass by Rooney, who probably again was ignoring Mkhitaryan. And then Feyenoord, at this level, teams will get chances. They go up and they probably had the best chance of the game, despite us being pretty dominant. Awful Rooney pass caused that Feyenoord chance, though, says Ramsey United. I didn't see that, mate, so I'll take your word for it. Carrick on the overlap to Luke Shaw, who feeds Mkhitaryan on the overlap. He's got a bit of space. Go on, Mickey, just show him what you can do. He feeds Carrick, who does put the cross in. Seems a little bit overhit, and it is. Final ball United is the problem. We're going to watch the Romero chances. Well, not Romero, the Romero saves. That one's straight at him, to be fair, the first one. But Coit's chouse, he just throws a leg out. I think Phil Jones would have got it anyway. Yeah, they're not world-class saves at all. I mean, that's just TV talk. One was straight at him, and the other one, to be fair, if he didn't put his foot out, it would have been 1-0. Nathan Love makes a good point. Can Phil Jones become a great player still? I throw that to the live comments, really, whilst I answer it. I've been critical of Phil Jones, but that's because I reckon, and I hope I'm wrong about this, but I would say Phil Jones in the next month will get another injury that puts him out for anywhere between a month and 4. Because that's what happens with Phil Jones, and that's why I would sell Phil Jones, because I just think he's always going to be injury prone. If he can get rid of it and play week in, week out, I think he could become a decent centre-back, but I don't think he will, because I think, unfortunately, his body is one that's always going to have injuries. And I hope I'm wrong about that. And I've said it a few times, when it comes to centre-backs, they're the most important people in your team that you want them to be playing every single week, because you've got to build a partnership. That's what decent centre-backs are all about. Playing week in, week out. You can't, in any other position, you can sort of get away with it, but centre-backs and goalkeepers, you need that because it's stability, and you need that consistency of playing in, week out. MS Charlie 08. Can Memphis Depay be Mourinho's main man? No. I know a lot of people want Memphis to succeed, but if he can't force his way into a team that's not had, where the wingers haven't been playing well for a third of the season, then he's obviously not doing enough, is he? And I don't know why that is. Harry Bernasconi, Rooney to be offloaded in January. I highly doubt we'd get rid of Rooney in January. Let's remember that he's got the goals record to break as well. And the way he's going at the moment, that's probably going to take all season. Who you've seen, says Morgan Gibson. We were talking about who's the best striker you've seen. He said Ruud van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy was a very good footballer, skillful player, and finishing was absolutely amazing as well. So, yeah, I probably wouldn't disagree with Van Nistelrooy, to be honest. I mean, Andy Cole was a good finisher, but he didn't have the skill of a Van Nistelrooy. Half an hour in, I'm not disappointed with United. I just think we're just, we're so different to what we were under Van Gaal. We move the ball about better. It's more exciting to watch, but I think the goals will come from, well done Mkhitaryan there. It's a tough ball to deal with. It was a high switch of the play, and he got up, headed it down to Shaw's feet. So good to see him using heading ability. Zlatan rolled it into Pogba. Little chip. Oh, Mkhitaryan. It was a chip in by Pogba. I think he might have been offside. No, he wasn't, because they played on. It was a good chance. That's probably our chance of the half, unfortunately. He was stretching at it and sort of toe poked it at the keeper. But Luke Shaw's done well there. Oh, come on, ref. I hate European referees. They're so bad. Why would Luke Shaw go down then when he's gone past his man? It's not in the box. We're not talking about a penalty. It's on the left-hand side. He'd gone past his man, and then he goes down. And why would you go down when you're past your man and you can put a cross in? And the referee's there going, come on, get up. I think the standard of refereeing across Europe, and in England, to be fair, is just shockingly bad. I think they do it on a whim, on a guess most of the time. Lewis D95, Ruud's my favourite striker. Scholes Legend 18, Mickey was stretching a bit on that chance. Yeah, he definitely was. I think he made the best of it. It's not like it was a sitter by any means. You want it to go in. I want to do a Pardew dance. Rooney to be offloaded in January, says Harry Bernasconi again. We did answer it, Harry. No, he won't be. Never in a million years. In the summer, there's a slight chance. I don't think he will be. There's a slight chance. Here we go. Rooney, don't ignore Mkhitaryan. Oh, he's done it again. Why does he always do it? Oh, it's weird. It's so weird. I don't know whether it's just me noticing it, but it's really weird. We might just be seeing things we want to see because we just want everyone to give the ball to Mkhitaryan all the time. But it seems really weird. I don't know. Maybe Timothy Fosu Menza says Rooney's been impressive. Rooney won't go until he's broken the record. I agree with Lanky Snake 942. Villan HG says Rooney is without doubt the best forward Manchester United have ever had. He's not. He might be the best striker we had in a certain 5-year period, but Ronaldo was better, Dennis Law was better, Cantona was better, Andy Cole was better, Van Nistelrooy was better. We're talking strikers here. We're talking people putting the ball in the back of the net. I mean, Rooney is unquestionably a Manchester United great, but as a striker, we've had better. Please, can I get a shout out? Says Luke McMahon. You just God. You just God. You're not God. You just got one. Cougar Rooney says it's not just you, Mark. And we scored! Rooney scored! I was looking down, we're looking up. Manchester United won. This is the problem when you do a watch along, you sometimes miss it. I want to see, I think it's Zlatan who sets him up. Well, we've got a goal. The most important thing is we get a goal. Rooney starts it, goes past one, he's running down the wing. Into Zlatan. Oh, Rooney scores because his man falls over. We don't care. We're 1-0 up. And the nice thing about that from Rooney, I think, is no matter what anybody thinks, is that unlike the game in Fenerbahce when the ball was passed into him in the box, it didn't hit him like a brick wall. He controlled it and a little dink as well. So 1-0, that's what we wanted. United need to win this game. It doesn't matter who scores, does it? Feyenoord just on the attack. I'm going to change the scores in a minute, but I'm slightly annoyed then that I missed that goal. But to be honest, it wasn't a great. But Rooney sort of started it and made it, and then we got a little bit of luck for once in the box because the Feyenoord player fell over, and that just gave Rooney the space for Zlatan to pass to him. But straight into Romero's arm. That's good. Right, let's update the score. We're 1-0 up. Happy days. And hopefully we've still got a little bit of time. We might get a second one before half time and start to. I think today's just all about getting a bit of confidence, isn't it? Getting a little bit of luck in the box, which Mourinho was obviously saying we don't get enough luck. 7 minutes to go, might give Rooney a boost. Decent. No, it's not a decent cross. What I would like to see more is just a few of the players giving Mkhitaryan the ball a little bit more, because I think he is without doubt one of our most tactically astute players in the squad, and you can see the fact that he's 2-footed and he's got great balance. Just give him the ball a little bit more. He's drifting in to get it. I think Zlatan and Rooney have probably tried to do things a little bit too much. Oh, Zlatan gives it to Mickey there, which is good. Gives it to Pogba. He's made a good run there. See, when Mkhitaryan comes in to the centre and the right, we use the left. See, Valencia could have given him the ball then to Mkhitaryan. Carrick. Mata, give it to Mkhitaryan. No, we go to the fucking left back. Sorry for my language. Although, what I would say this, and I don't know if anybody's ever... Now, there's the pass to Mkhitaryan. Oh, he ignored it. Oh, God, really then? He really should have given him the ball, and he plays a difficult pass to Zlatan, and we break it down. And Mkhitaryan's right in front of him, right in his eye line, right on the edge of the box, unmarked, and he didn't give it him. Carrick does, because he's clever. But maybe we are overreacting with the Mkhitaryan thing, because what I was going to say is, has anybody ever played FIFA 17 where you just control the one player? It's a bit like that at the moment, because all we're ever doing is watching Mkhitaryan, and he's lost it there off Zlatan, to be honest. That wasn't very good from him. And it is a bit like that. Uze13, what do you think of Rashford? He's not playing. I'm probably being a bit facetious there. I like Rashford. I just think I want to see Rashford come in. Rashford for me doesn't have to play every game. In fact, I'd rather he was a sub and come on up front as a number 9, because that's where Rashford is. That's what Rashford is. He's a forward. I think playing him on the wings is just a waste. First poor touch by Mickey, 38-minute marks, the school's legend 18. It was, you're right, 38 minutes, and it's his first bad touch. That's a bit of a bad pass from him there as well. We don't want that to consistently happen, but he's putting in a lot of effort in. So if we win this game, we'd go up to second place with 9 points. We've got a better goal difference than Fenerbahce as well. Obviously Fenerbahce, they play Feyenoord in 2 weeks' time, and we are away against Zoya. Mickey is good, says Jakob. I agree. We're lagging. We shouldn't be lagging. It's spot on from what I can see. I can normally tell if we're lagging, and we're not. I'll tell you what I'm going to have a look at. Are we lagging on our subscriber target for the evening? Which is... Bum, 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 bum. Well done. Well done. You've gone way beyond us. We were sort of trying to hope... When we started the game, we were 80 short of 52,500, and we've gone to 52,610. I nearly said, should we get 53,000? If you've not subscribed to the United Stand, please subscribe. It takes one click to do it, and it will allow you to know when we go live, because we do a lot of live content. And hopefully, we're picking up a lot of new people tonight who like the content and the interactivity, because that's what it's all about. Please do subscribe and get involved. And most importantly, keep commenting and having your say, because the bigger we get, the bigger everyone's voice gets. And just for those who are interested in it, on a Monday night at 8:30, we do Skype Goldbridge, which is me, and you can Skype in and have your say. It's your show on anything you want to talk about. And we're actually going to take a few of your calls after this game as well. So very interactive. That's what we want it to be on the United Stand. So, like I say, subscribe. It's free, and get involved. Three minutes to half time. Start giving us your thoughts on the game so far. I mean, I've been very impressed by Mkhitaryan, although, to be honest, in the last 5 minutes, his touch has been a little bit dodgy and his passing has been a little bit off, but that could all improve. What we need to do, just came into my head there, and it's not going to be the most profound statement in the world, is we need a second goal. Because what happened to us against Arsenal, one goal is never enough, and for many different reasons, I would like to see us get a second goal, because it will help us out, no end. I'd like to see us get 3 or 4, because I think it will help us out with confidence, no end as well. 2 minutes to half time, everybody. 2 minutes. Rooney definitely won't give it to Mkhitaryan. To be fair, he wasn't even in a decent position to give it to him. Luke Shaw, Rooney. Obviously, the goal will do Rooney the world of good. Whatever you think about Rooney, I'd give him a 6 out of 10. I think he's had some bad bits and he's had some good bits. I think Mkhitaryan, in fairness, has gone off the boil a bit in the last 5 minutes, but he's been putting a lot of effort in. He might be quite tired. People have said he'll get subbed off at around 60 minutes anyway, which he probably will. And just having a quick check on Twitter, because sometimes on Twitter you get the monies. The monies, is that what I'm about? You get different opinions on Twitter as you do on Facebook, as you do on YouTube. But very good, Manchester United so far. This could be 2-0. He's offside. It's a shame. It was Mata. It was a long ball. But the linesman, he gives it offside. It's offside. No point arguing. Move along. Move along. Another mistake and Feyenoord clear. Well, we need more mistakes from Feyenoord because it will help us to get another goal, and we're all for that. But Zlatan again picking it up. I'm tempted to look down while I'm trying to sort something out, but I don't want to. But it's gone deep a bit now. I think Luke Shaw's done okay. It's looking like it's going to stay 1-0 at half time. There's a late free kick for Feyenoord here, or just to chuck it into the box. We certainly won't be having time to have another chance, but do get comments in and give us your thoughts on the half. We'll be reviewing it very shortly. Crossed by Feyenoord into the box, and we won the first ball for a change in the box, which is always encouraging. And Daily Blind, it's half time, so I'm very pleased with that. I think ultimately you would judge it on how well you think. Well, Mkhitaryan's the one that we've sort of been talking about the most, isn't it? And I think he had I would give Mkhitaryan a 7 out of 10. I think at times he was bordering on being an 8 out of 10, but I think probably the last 5 minutes of that half he was a little bit not so on the ball, but gave the ball away a couple of times, looked quite tired. But I'm very happy with that. I mean, Rooney scored, which is always positive, because we want players to be playing well for United in a United shirt, don't we? Let's have a look at some of your comments. Mkhitaryan is having a great game when he's given the ball, apart from the last 5 minutes. That's from Mr. Morgan, which I agree. They did, maybe we are looking at it with when you're controlling one player at FIFA 17 eyes, because we just want him to have the ball all the time. Patrick Anderson, Mickey is a beast. Red Wazzies, Mark, do you think we'll get top 4 this season? We need to start winning games, mate. Roma Dude, Rooney is a divider, not a uniter. The same friction happened between him and RVP. Most likely this one of the reasons why Rooney Van Nistelrooy was shown the door. I wouldn't unload him. It was funny. I was just looking on Twitter then, and the same old things coming up again. Where are all the Rooney haters now? I mean, I don't think there are any Rooney haters. I just think Rooney's not been playing well for 2 years, and I think these people who love Rooney and have got their heads back up his backside again, nobody hates Rooney. I'm really pleased he scored a goal tonight, but people got on his back because he didn't play well for 2 years. I think that half actually sums Rooney up pretty well. He did some really average and poor things, and then he scored a goal. So, but Rooney playing well. In fact, we've got JFRK093. Rooney haters, where are you at? Who hates Rooney? Nobody hates Rooney. They've just spoken the truth that Rooney's not been playing very well for 2 years, which is fine. If Rooney responds to whatever it is that's making him play slightly better, then that's better for Manchester United. And as I said before the game, he's not going to be sold in January anyway. We won't be selling him. And he will still continue to be picked. So I would rather Rooney played better than bad, because if Rooney plays like he has for the last 2 years, we won't get top 4. So there you go. St Columbo, interesting angle. United have been poor. I disagree. I think we've been better than okay. I just think we probably haven't created as much. Lewis is saying that it's the beard that's paying off. If United played to full potential, they would be world class as Man United. Funnily enough, yeah, they would. Somebody said it in the first half. That's potentially on form our best 6. I would throw Herrera back in there, but if Rooney can get to his best, and Zlatan and Pogba and Mata and Mkhitaryan and Carrick, then that probably is your best front 6. I wouldn't argue with that. We stopped playing after that goal, says Star Blogger. That does tend to be a United problem, and it's a very good point. We need a second goal. Oran says Rooney's played horribly today. Let's be honest, Rooney scored because their defender fell over. But he did well on the build-up to the play. I think Rooney's done some good things, but he's also done some bad things. That's the honest truth, isn't it? Joe Cam says this is the time when Rooney should get credit. Saying 6 out of 10 despite the goal is not objective, Mark. Give me a score. I thought Rooney gave the ball away quite a lot. I thought he ignored Mkhitaryan a lot. I thought he did a lot of bad things, but he scored a goal. So 6 out of 10. I think that's quite fair because it ignores the bad things and focuses on more the positives, which is what I'd prefer to do with United. Louis A says this guy never shuts up. It's very difficult. If I shut up, there's no sound. Manchester is blue apparently. Don't know. Billy Garrigan, that's great for you, mate. He's got a big manhood apparently. I hate Rooney, says Case and Goons. Why are we getting bogged down by Rooney? Because somebody comes on and says, where are all the Rooney haters now? And nobody hates Rooney. I think everybody to a pound of shit would say, I want Rooney to play well because it's beneficial for Manchester United. Mark, do you like Dundalk? Says Mark Gibbons. It's alright. Alright, Ross?
Hey, Mark. Yeah, good. Yourself?
Oh, might have a bit of problem with the audio.
Oh, really?
I know why. I haven't got my headphones in.
That'll help.
Yeah, why I can't hear him. There we go. All right. What do you think on? I'm getting bogged down here with a Rooney conversation because basically you've got people coming on saying where are all the Rooney haters now? When I was saying nobody hates Rooney, he's just not played well for 2 years. And if he plays well, everyone's going to be happy.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm chuffed for Rooney for getting that goal, and it was actually a quality finish. But Rooney hasn't. He's just been slightly better than average Wayne Rooney today, to be honest. And sort of it was a typical Wayne Rooney of today goal, where in the build-up he was, he pushed a player over, and he was marginally offside, and it wasn't like this amazing goal that we thought we were going to see from Rooney. So
was he offside?
He was level. He was a little bit beyond level. If it was a Premier League, we would have never got that. But I think now we're now in the days where European refs are actually better than Premier League refs, which that hasn't happened in a long time. Yeah, it's benefit of the doubt. I'd have definitely have given Rooney the goal, but it was marginally offside. But do you know what? The game, it's been everything that I kind of thought it would be. We haven't really got out of second gear, but we haven't really needed to be honest. We're 1-0 up. I know we give away a silly chance, but I think we're comfortable.
Just very quickly on Rooney, I think Rooney looks better, and somebody just said it there, Daniel Fordham, has he lost weight? I think he looks better because he looks fitter. He didn't look fit for me the first couple of games of the season. But let's move past Rooney and just say this, Nobody's getting on Rooney's back. We're really pleased that he scored, but let's not say it's the second coming of Pele. It wasn't that sort of a performance. He's done okay, and he's got a goal. That's important. What I want to talk about is Mkhitaryan. I was getting very frustrated because I felt that we weren't giving him the ball enough, but I think that's because we just want him to have the ball so much. I thought he faded a bit in the last 5 minutes, but he played really well in the first 40.
Yeah, I agree. I've been pleased with it. Like I said, Mkhitaryan today didn't need to come out, and I didn't expect him to hit 2 goals. I didn't expect him to even get an assist. I just wanted him to do the simple things right, and I think he's done that this half. And I hope he gets another half an hour. I think he will come off this half, and I don't know who we'll see. I don't know if we will see Memphis or not, or it'll be Lingard. I don't even know if it's on the bench, but yeah, it's an interesting one with Mkhitaryan because I want to see more from him, but at the same time, it's baby steps with him. We can't expect everything with his first game back from for weeks. So, like I say, it's been one of them performances where we haven't. A lot of people will say we're playing bad, but I don't think we are. We just we haven't got out of second gear at all, to be honest. But it's just one of them games where you just feel like we're going to win it without getting out of second gear.
Yeah, I did say that. I thought that it needs to be... I'll be happy with a 7 out of 10, as long as it's not a horrific performance, so that it's like, he doesn't play again for 5 or 10 games. I think he's done well enough now that maybe we might see him on the bench against West Ham. He comes on and he has 20 minutes. And like you say, baby steps is really good. I'm just going to pop for a quick toilet break, but just to give you a subject to sort of hit upon. What's Luke Shaw is one player I'd like you to sort of discuss. And also, obviously, highlight the fact about Carrick and how long we want to see him on in the second half, because I think there's a point where that becomes quite dangerous for Sunday. And then also, if you could just finish up on what you thought about Zlatan as well, because I don't think we've discussed him, but I had a bit. I'll be back hopefully to catch the end of that, because I've got a bit of a thought on Zlatan as well.
Yeah, no worries. I think Luke Shaw is exactly the same as Mkhitaryan with baby steps. I mean, he's been out of the team for the last 2-3 weeks, and he hasn't. It's almost as if Mourinho doesn't like him, so he just needs to do the simple things well. I think Mourinho gets a little bit pissed off with the fact that Shaw, he bombs forward and he tries to maybe do too much of his capabilities, and he just needs to nail down defending before he looks to bomb on and do attacking things, where Valencia's kind of the other way round. But Zlatan, I think Zlatan had a poor start to this game by Zlatan's talents. I mean, I'm not going to compare Zlatan with, someone like Rooney, because Zlatan, I believe, is more talented than Rooney and should be playing better. But then, he got an assist for Rooney's goal, and that's what. Sometimes you can play poorly, but then you can get an assist or you can get a goal, and especially from a striker, I think that's all you need. You just need him to just do that, create a chance and create an assist. But I think I'd like to see on Carrick. I'd like to see Carrick come off, within 10 minutes of this second half. I don't want to see Carrick play anywhere beyond 65 minutes, because if he does, I cannot see him starting against West Ham, and I think that would be, massively bad for us. And just on Zlatan, Mark, I was saying that I think he had a bit of a poor first half, but end of the day, Zlatan got an assist to Rooney's goal, and out of your number one up top, a goal or an assist is good enough, regardless of what he does for the rest of the game. And I'm a big Zlatan fan, so I'm pleased with his half.
I mean, Howard292 says this guy hates Rooney so much. I don't know whether he's talking about me or Ross. But what I was just about to say is that, there is no Rooney hate. There's never been any Rooney hate on this channel. And
I love Wayne Rooney. Absolutely love Wayne Rooney.
There cannot be any hate of any United player on this channel, because it's your fan channel. But there will be opinions. And I can't help myself, I will give my opinion. But what I was about to say there is, I don't know why we've been dragged into this Rooney debate. All I'm saying is that there is no Rooney hate, and I think the jury's out on Rooney, and it will be for a number of games, because he's been pretty poor for 2 years. But, that was better today. He looked sharper. But I'm not going to get carried away and give him an 8 or 9 out of 10, because it's not been that sort of performance. However, what I would say is that I think Zlatan's been very similar to Rooney. There's been good bits, and there's been some bits where you're like, he needs to be better there. But hopefully that will happen over the coming games. I
think with Rooney, if he strung together 4 or 5 of these performances, one after another, everyone would be off his back, and and people have stopped talking about him. It's the inconsistency,
Yeah.
and it will be. He's doing this against the Europa League team at the end of the day, which is great that he's showing form. But if he can come out against West Ham, I don't think he'll start. But if he did and played the same, people would get off his back.
Yeah, I don't think Rooney will start against West Ham. I'd be surprised
No.
if he starts against West Ham, to be honest. But Mezzarino won, so you don't hate Fellaini? No, I don't. I've never hated Fellaini. I don't want to see him in a United shirt. I can't. I'll be an absolute hypocrite, and there'll be loads of gifs out there of me saying I can't stand Fellaini in a United shirt. I can't stand you, Fellaini in a United shirt. No, I've got no interest in ever getting his signature or anything like that. I don't believe he's United quality going back to the start of the game. But I don't lose sleep about Fellaini anymore because I think we actually have got a manager that will move away from ever picking him in the first team. Where, it became a very frustrating thing last year because Van Gaal just constantly picked him, and he's not a United quality player for me. But I'm really happy with that team today. We had no issues with it. I do understand what some people are saying about Martial and Fosu Mensah, and it would be nice to see them involved. But for me, it was all about Mkhitaryan and Luke Shaw today, and I think I didn't hear what he said about Luke Shaw, but I think, again, you don't necessarily want a worldy 8 or 9 out of 10 performance. You want a steady 7 out of 10 will do me fine because it's something to build on, and I think we're going to have to build on it with the likes. Rojo's not playing tonight. He probably will play against West Ham. So these players, if they can get themselves consistently on the bench and then force them way into the team, it's a fantastic point that Ross made. It might just be baby steps with them. But what we didn't want to happen tonight with both of them was a bad performance where they lack in confidence and then they're not even on the bench for a few more games. They've got to build their way in. But I was impressed with Mkhitaryan. I think my only concern with him, Ross, was that maybe he doesn't have the physicality, but I saw him jumping up for headers and all sorts, and he looked like he wanted to get involved. And I really hope it works out because I think he's quite clearly one of the most technically technique-wise, he's probably one of the better players we've got in the squad.
I think that physicality will come, and it might be why. We don't know. I keep saying we don't know, but it might be why he's been out of the team for a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks. Just say, go away, build yourself up, get used to what you think this physicality is going to be like in the Premier League, and come back and prove us all wrong, which is what he needs to do. And the baby step thing as well, and it is the same for Luke Shaw because I think Mourinho is picking out key faults of their game for a reason. He's picking up on their mistakes. I know he's doing it publicly. People don't like that. Some people do. I'm not too fussed, to be honest. But he's picking out them points to make sure that, because the points that the mistakes that they're making is basics of football, which is what you shouldn't be doing as a Premier League player. And Luke Shaw shows us all this talent that he has, the going forward potential, the speed. But when he gets down the wing, he should, as a left back, that shouldn't be happening. And that's why Mourinho has publicly slated him for it. And then you come back in a game like this, and Luke Shaw's priority now will be do not get caught out defensively. We're not too worried about what he does attacking wise because we know he has that talent. But we just want to see no defensive slip ups from him because like I say, he's such a better player in comparison to Marcus Rojo. But just Rojo might be in a little bit better form than him at the minute.
Very quickly, because I know you're going to have to get off before the game starts, but one off Bobby. Wayne Rooney is one goal off the all-time goal record of Sir Bobby Charlton, levelling it up. I mean, that's a huge thing, no matter what anybody thinks. And he will break it. He's not going anywhere until he breaks it. I mean, that's never going to happen.
He'll break that in the second half.
Well, it'd be an amazing... What a great place to be on the United Stand Watchalong with 1,700 other people. Whenever it happens, we will have it live for you, and it's going to be a great moment. But second half's about to start. Give us your Twitter name, Ross, because I know it'd be nice. It's
Hazza90, HAZZA90.
Funny Ross comments on Twitter. Do give him a follow on there, and hopefully you'll be back with us on when we play Sunday.
Sunday 4:30. Yeah.
Great. Thanks for coming on, pal.
Cool. See you then, Mark. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Thanks to Ross there. Nice for him to pop on at half-time. But yeah, a positive, I suppose. Well, it is a positive. No suppose about it. One off. He could level the record tonight. But what am I looking for in the second half? Mkhitaryan still on the pitch, so that's really important. And... Carrick off on 60 minutes, please. That's what we want, so that he's well up and fit. Timer should go for you now. Yep, right. Second half is off, everybody. For those asking, and just so you know, we will be taking your Skype calls on this stream at full time for about 10 minutes after the game. So get involved in that as well. It is Mark Goldbridge on Skype. It's shut at the moment, so I can't take anybody on now, but I will open it up at full time. Bilal 14, all you Rooney haters, shut up. How about you shut up, Bilal? Because I've never seen anybody actually who hates Rooney on the live comments or on the United stand. I think it's just people who probably are in love with Wayne Rooney and would never accept that he played poor for 2 years, that you think, you know, you can have your day in the sun now and come on and say, where are all you Rooney haters now? And the fact is, it's a myth. No Manchester United fan hates any United player, because if a United player is playing well in a United shirt, it benefits the one thing we love, and that is the club we love, Manchester United. So, and for those people, we might see history in the making in this second half. What I would say is, I guarantee it'd be nice if we got another one and then we got a penalty. Update the score, Mark. Why? Because it's 1-0. Ahmed Nur says 3-1. That was my prediction. It's still on. United to win 3-0, says Oscar. Prince Vergata says stop mentioning Rooney. He's about to level the all-time goal record, and he nearly just did, actually. He was 3-1 then. So it's a relevant conversation. Dillerber's a Tottenham fan. Unlucky, mate. We'll probably see you in the Europa League in February. In fact, does anybody know who is decent, who is in the Europa League? I've been ignoring it quite comfortably, apart from our group. I've got no idea who's in it of any use. I know Spurs are going to be in it. From the Champions League, who's finishing third? Kyle B. Oh, no. I'm not going to mention anything about it. Score at the end of the game, Mark says Shark 23. I went 3-1. Be nice for United to get a second goal. I think we need a second goal. As bad as Feyenoord were in the first half, they still had a really good chance, didn't they, with Bert Kuit. We need to get in the habit of scoring 2 goals. Right, Rooney's just passed to Mkhitaryan, which was interesting. And he's done well. He's kept hold of the ball. And he finds Valencia. He was quite lucky to keep hold of the ball there, but Valencia might give it him back. It doesn't. Valencia into Mata. Into Mkhitaryan. He's got a bit of space. Put the cross in. Dinky cross, Valencia. No, he won't like that. Back header. Zlatan, 2-0. Ooh. Controlled. Luke Shaw. Mkhitaryan. Oh, hit the defender. Bang. He should have hit it first time, really, on his right. This is the perfect game for Martial, Mark, says Marco. It would be, apart from the fact he's not playing. Who's been our best player so far, says Johnny Hennigan. Who does everyone else think has been our best player so far? Pogba into the box. Can't quite find a pass. I'd say our best player so far, because I don't think anybody's really exceeded a 7 out of 10. You'd probably say Mkhitaryan, Pogba would be my 2, and then closely followed probably by Carrick, Rooney, or Zlatan or Mata. The defenders haven't really had much to do, so you can't really say they've been better than average. But Feyenoord have made a lot of mistakes, and Mata's won that well back. Or back well. Mata and Valencia linking up quite well, but they've got 5 onto 2 there. I don't know why all Feyenoord's players are all down on our 2 right-hand-sided players. Rapid Gamer wants a shout-out. Phil Jones sweeps up. Melvin loves Feyenoord. Mickey or Carrick, says Carmichael. Kay Roberts wants a shout-out. Rashford might score if he comes on, says Noel Commons. I'd like to see Rashford come on as a forward. Nice by Pogba. Mkhitaryan, past 1. Oh, go on. It's got to be a sending off. It's a great run. Oh, God, referee. That's awful. This ref is absolutely awful. Mkhitaryan basically running through the middle, went past about 4 players. He gets pulled over. It's a blatant red. And he says, get up. I'm tweeting it because I'm angry. And you know what? What happened to siding with the attacking player? He literally went through about 4 players there, gets into a one-on-one situation, and the ref says, get up. I mean, so much for siding with the attacker. That is absolutely disgraceful. Really bad. The only question was whether it was going to be a red card, which I felt it was. I mean, we'll wait to see it back, but Mata with a little chip. Oh, it would have been a class goal. Chip from Mata outside the box, and the keeper's really at full stretch. But we really want to see that Mkhitaryan. Referee, what is that, says Noel Commons. I used to do it on the pitch. Referee, have a word. It's disgraceful. It's absolutely disgraceful, refereeing. Because there's no way. Again, it's a bit like Luke Shaw in the first half. When you've got past your man, why go down? Mata with the cross. We're all over them a little bit at the moment. Let's get that second goal. Valencia, I thought he was running down a blind alley, but he's got time to do a little dinky cross. Pogba, Mata. Who's it that? Daily Blind. Right, let's show the Mkhitaryan thing again, because I'm stunned by this. They've gone to the ref. Let's go to Mkhitaryan. There's just no way it's not a yellow card. I mean, here's the run. Pass 1. 2. He's through. He's falling down. He's through. He's nearly going down anyway. No, no, you can't pull somebody back and then trip them up. It is clearly a foul and should have been a red, says Dav. Okay. Alex Castle as well. What is the ref on, says Reece Baker. He actually fouls him twice. The pull back, which you can't do. You can shoulder barge, you can't pull people back, and then he does him with his leg as well. Absolutely shocking defending. And the big shame about that is that, you know, Mkhitaryan needs these sort of breaks in a United shirt. And he needs these sort of breaks in a United shirt. You know, if the player gets sent off, it's a reward for his good play. Or if he goes through and scores, it's a reward for brilliant play. So to get nothing out of it is just really frustrating on a Mkhitaryan point of view. Really, really. Every ref hates United, no doubt, says Man United. I just, you know, that's shocking. And it was a brilliant run. There's not many people in world football who can do that. But hopefully you can take some confidence from that. I love Mickey, says Champion Herbs. It was a bloody brilliant run. Mohamed Chowdhury says it's a dive. Mohamed Chowdhury, better go to Specsavers, mate, because you're blind. I just want us to get the second goal, though. I've been really... I don't know what you lot think, and, you know, you're never going to get perfection in football, because everyone's... I mean, that's the great thing about the United stand. That's the great thing about all you lot who get involved, is we've all got different ideals and ideas. And I know some of you are disappointed that Martial's not in the squad, or even a Schneidlin, or a Fosu Mensah, or even a Darmian, some people said. But you're never going to get perfection, because what you think is perfection, other people are saying, where's Memphis? Where's Rooney? Where's this? Where's that? That's the great thing about football. But I think I'm really happy with this team today. Really happy with it. Zlatan's not been great. I love Zlatan, but he hasn't been great. You know, I will be harsh on players who haven't been great, but all in all, I think, you know, you look at that team and it, you know, Carrick and Pogba and Rooney as a midfield and Mkhitaryan on the left, Mata on the right, Zlatan up front. It's a good side. I still don't think, I don't know what you lot think, but I still don't think our bench, and this has been the problem for the last few games, I don't think our bench is as exciting as it could be. I mean, Herrera and Rashford are on there, but I think, you know, the likes of Lingard and Memphis probably do need moving off for people like Martial and Fosu, just to make it more exciting. It was a foul, yellow at best, not a red, says Komari Blues. I think your issue there, mate, is we're not talking about the foul being a red card. It's the situation of the foul. He's running through one-on-one on goal. It's a goal-scoring opportunity, so it's a red card. We're not saying that the veracity of the foul is the issue. No, that's not the issue. Mkhitaryan, Mata is offside. It was actually a cross shot from Mkhitaryan. It goes to Mata, who taps it in, who is probably half of Manchester offside, as is Zlatan. The fact that Mata actually looks if he's offside. He's well off. Please let Mickey play 90 minutes, says St. Columbo. It depends whether he's thinking about using him on Sunday, doesn't it? I don't think he will be playing on Sunday. I think that's too far. Step too far. And to be honest, this is the Europa League. You know, it's not. This should not be our first team. Mata working hard there, but just hasn't got the pace to stay with their left back. But we moved the ball far, far quicker than we ever did under Van Gaal. Oh, it's a bad foul, that is. He'll get a yellow card, surely. Mata's just left him, mugged him off. It looks like he's going to pass it, and then he just does this amazing little dinky chip. Oh, class by Mata. Let's have a look. What's going on? It's funny because Ross was saying at half time that the Europa League refs are better than the Premier League, and I disagree. I think he's been. I did say in the first half that I thought this referee was poor for that Luke Shaw thing. We need a second goal though. I know it's stating the obvious, but we do need a second goal. Foxy Play Kids Freestyler wants a shout out. United were on Hypno under Lou Van Gaal, says Gungshi. Pogba or De Bruyne, says Ahmed Nur. Well, I'd take Pogba, and a Man City fan would take De Bruyne. I like Pogba, and I think he's going to be a great player for us. I don't want De Bruyne. And Mkhitaryan, nearly, probably should have scored there. A good crossing by Rooney. It's a shame he didn't score. Stop picking your nose, says Mohammed Chari. I've got a cold. And I'm picking my nose because it's getting bunged up, mate. You've made my day for giving me a shout out, says Kai Roberts. Mickey's playing well at the moment, says Anthony Abderab. Ibra is too old, he isn't good. I'm a Man United fan myself, says Armstrong Lawell. Yeah, I don't think Zlatan's done himself any favours in this game. I don't think he's been shocking, but I think the problem with Zlatan at the moment, and I do think he will get better, I do think he's going to go into some good form, but I think the problem with Zlatan when he plays with the likes of Mata and Rooney is that they're all the same when it comes to pace, and I think in one of those positions you need to have somebody who's fast. Now, whether we're going to phase Mata out, which I think is a big mistake, whether we're going to phase Rooney out, which I think would upset a lot of Rooney fans, or whether we're going to phase Zlatan out, which we won't, one of those three positions we've got to put pace into it, because you can't carry three players of that same speed. I think if Zlatan was Aubameyang or Rashford, because we're not going to get Aubameyang, if Zlatan's Rashford, then suddenly you're causing a problem for the opposition. If Rooney is a quick number 10, say like Mkhitaryan, and then you put Martial on the left, you've got two bits of pace there. Or if Mata's dropped and you put a right midfielder out there, maybe Mkhitaryan, and put Martial on the left, again, you've got pace out there. But I think all three of them, we've not got enough pace. FIFA haters, says Hayden AC. Everybody hates us. We're Manchester United. I wish we could get the second goal though, because we really need to just batter somebody. What was I going to do? We are on. Mkhitaryan's got the ball. You've got to be quiet when he's got it. Into Zlatan. Overshot. Oh, side netting. And the cross. He could have passed it back to Mata. It's good. He makes it all though. It's a lovely little intricate play. Into Zlatan. Zlatan gives it him back. He's wide. He goes to shoot. I mean, Mata's asking for the pass, but actually Mata's got two players on him. It's not easy for him to pass that to Mata. He could have gone down off the foul of Coit. Who's going off? Man of the match says Tekka FIFA is Mickey Mata. We've got 789 likes on this video. If everybody likes it and we go over 1,000 likes, I love to get 1,000 likes on a watch along, because I can't do the show without all you lot on your live comments. And you deserve 1,000 likes, so it's just one little tick down there. And in a few minutes, I'm going to give you a challenge too. Rashford needs to come on, says Leighton. I would like to see Rashford coming on for... what's his face? Zlatan. Oh, you know what? I know we all want Mkhitaryan to stay on, but if he came off now, we'd be saying, what a brilliant hour. And that's what we want. We want that. Lovely little ball by Valencia. Into Zlatan. Oh, the ball just doesn't seem to want to drop for Zlatan these days. Oh God, we need the second goal. You know what? This would be horrific if we. I think we've played better than we did against Arsenal. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but this would be ridiculous to play like we have. Go 1-0 with like 2 minutes to go and allow them to get a chance and get a draw. You know, we don't want that again. But those people who were saying, "Oh, we need to rest Pogba," I think playing Pogba is a brilliant idea, because it just gets him more accustomed to the team. Mkhitaryan, this is brilliant. Zlatan slows it down, but Rooney and Mkhitaryan are actually linking up really, really, really well now. $919 likes. You're really close to 1,000. Click and like if you haven't already. We keep missing these chances, we'll pay dearly. All I'd say is that every time Mkhitaryan's getting the ball, we're doing something. Because he's like Mata, but fast. And two-footed. And skillful. He's not like Mata. I like Mata. Mata's a very unique sort of player. I think we've actually switched Mata and Mkhitaryan at the moment. Yeah, we have. Mkhitaryan's gone to the right and Mata's gone to the left. 1K you dab, says Leighton. I only dab when Fellaini leaves. Martial or Rashford, says Josh Russell. Rashford. You've got to go with the youth product. Alec liked 976. We'll probably do it. What is really wrong with Zlanta? Everybody needs to chill out. We're playing well and the results will come, says Mr. Wilt Chamberlain. I agree with that. I just think we need to score more goals, because 1-0 is never enough in any game of football. But Mkhitaryan, we've hit 1,000 likes apparently. 996 it's showing on my screen. Well done to everybody. But whatever the issue was with Mkhitaryan, I don't know, because he just looks totally at home. Happy, effort. Whatever the issue was, it's not there now. He's played brilliant. Brilliant. Sayed Adine says, Mark, what do you think about a new signing, Dembele from Celtic? I tell you what I think about that. The frustrating thing is, last December we were heavily linked to signing him from Fulham, and we didn't do it. And now we'll probably have to pay a hell of a lot more. We could have done that deal, and Spurs were in for him. Neither got him. He goes to Celtic. He shows that potential that everybody knew he had at Fulham. I'm a bit frustrated. It's a bit like Renato Sanchez. I think it was a deal we could have done. Mad Mark saying that Mkhitaryan gives us an injection of pace when we've got the ball, which is really good. Pogba's been robbed in possession there. We're a bit Luke Shaw's got back well. And Pogba's given a foul away. Zlatan is slowing us down to save the purple cat. But I like that now. Pogba was robbed in possession there, but to be fair, Feyenoord probably could have made a little bit more of that because they had more people banked up. It's not a bad position. We haven't got the hair in goal. Watch this free kick and then we'll take some more of your live comments. We have hit over 1,000 likes on the video. The free kick's gone straight into the wall, and he'll shoot over the bar in a minute. And he didn't decide to do that. Still Feyenoord on the edge of our box, but we've got everybody back. Cross comes in, cleared by Pogba, and Zlatan. I don't know why he's letting that bounce. Pogba on a run. He's fast. Pogba's fast as well, you know. Into Mata. Into Pogba. Shoots. Straight to the keeper. Mark, where is your Coco, your cat? He's alright. He's not been run over. He'll be back on the West Ham game. Bring Rashford on. Zlatan is slowing us down, says Noel Commons. I'd agree with that. We need that 2-goal cushion, says Categor HD. Zlatan looks slow, says Mr. GTR T03. Tony Cool Guy is asking about Coco the cat. Not with us tonight, but we'll be back. Don't worry. Roma Dude says, Mark, with regard to good players, Alan Smith was another good footballer we had. Sad that he had that nasty injury that cut short his career. We badly need a sharp striker. Scoring is our problem. Daniel Wright, are they playing good? I think United have played really well, and I wouldn't, nobody's had a bad performance tonight, far from it, I don't think Shaw and I think Mkhitaryan's just been something else, and I think the crowd have made that abundantly clear. I don't think you can judge Blind, Romero or Jones much because they haven't had a lot to do. But Shaw and Valencia have played well. Carrick has obviously been Michael Carrick. Mata's been Juan Mata. Pogba, I think I've been impressed with. He's getting better and better by the game. Mkhitaryan's just been what we all hoped he would be, and he will get better and better with more games. Rooney's improving. I'd say Zlatan's probably been the biggest disappointment, but he's not been awful by any means. He's probably been the biggest disappointment. Soccer as we like it wants a shout out. Richard Paulson saying we need a second goal, which I agree with. We've had I'm a bit on tender hooks. I'm trying to think of things to talk about. I am on tender hooks a bit because we can wax lyrical about performances, but ultimately the one thing that matters to any United fan is United getting results, and we need to win this because I think actually if we don't win it, Rooney could be in here with Rooney. Mata! Yes! Great goal. Rooney could have hit it, and it is 2-0. I thought it was offside. 2-0. Lovely little play. Another mistake from Feyenoord. Zlatan feeding Rooney. I thought Rooney might shoot. He doesn't. He feeds Mata. And Mata again. His stats and goals to game, and it'll do him the world of good. I was hoping it was Mkhitaryan. I'll be honest. But it's not Mkhitaryan. It's Mata, who we love as well. It could have fell to Mkhitaryan, but it would have been very, very difficult for him to do it. But we've got that second goal. That's what we wanted. That's what we've got. And it's 2-0 to Manchester United. And I expect he'll probably make some subs now. I thought Rooney might have hit that, to be fair. But it's a good setup. And I think Rooney has moved from maybe a 6 out of 10 in the first half to, pushing for an 8. I think he's been a good 7 tonight. And Matt has come off. Which is encouraging. What isn't encouraging is that Michael Carrick's still on the pitch. I think we need to get him off. Surely 70 minutes. 70 minutes for Michael Carrick's a real worry. Rashford's come on the right wing. Can Carrick play on Saturday? On Sunday? More mistakes. This should be 3-0. Oh, Zlatan again. Mkhitaryan puts him in one-on-one. Misses again. Somebody was asking then, will you be doing a live match reaction tonight? I will. The way we're going to run it is at full time. I'll open Skype up, Mark Goldbridge. You can Skype in and give us your thoughts on the game. We'll do that up until Jose Mourinho does his press conference, and then when I've listened to that, I'll do my match reaction. So it's probably going to be about, I don't know, 10:30 by the time I actually do that. But that'll be on a separate stream anyway. You don't need to worry about that. Just watch out for it. Which brings me nicely. 2-0. We've got a little bit of... need to update score. People are saying, you need to update score, lad. Come on. But the second goal, nice. Comfortable. And as somebody said, is Wayne Rooney forcing his way into the team on Sunday? Can't see it. Because to get him that midfield three, surely it's got to be Herrera. But maybe he's thinking of playing Herrera in the Carrick position and Pogba with Rooney ahead of him. We could do that. We could do that, can't we? Well, we wouldn't be opposed to that. I think the only thing we'd be opposed to is if he was going to play Fellaini in that midfield three because it slows us down. But, you know, on his performance today, maybe we can play Rooney at 10, Herrera, rest Carrick. I can't see Carrick playing on Sunday. Kevin Storr says change the score. Granny chatter. Yeah, done it, mate. Rooney man of the match, says Tony Cool Guy. Not for me. Not quite. He's played well, but I would still be giving it to... well, I think somebody said it about 10 minutes ago. For me, it's either Mata, Carrick or Mkhitaryan. But Zlatan there... It doesn't do an awful lot wrong. Mourinho's not happy with it though. Zlatan or Paul Pogba, says Foxy plays kids freestyler. Are we talking Pogba? Because he offers more for Manchester United in the future, doesn't he? And to be honest, he's playing better than Zlatan. Ross Gallagher says he'd play Rooney on Sunday while he's in a bit of form. I ain't got a problem with Rooney starting on Sunday at all, because as long as we play Mata and Herrera, I don't really care if Rooney plays. And, you know, we've not been doing well down the wing, so if Mata probably is going to play on the right. I can't see Carrick playing on Sunday now, so I probably would put Herrera in the Carrick position and keep Rooney and Pogba. And then, by the looks of it, he'll probably play Rashford on the left because Rashford's gone to the left now. I can't see I don't think Mkhitaryan will start against West Ham as much as we'd like to see that happen. Shaka Phillips has got him. Mkhitaryan is man of the match. Tommy Tui says hello. Read my comment. Come on, United. Jose will never sub Zlatan, says Ridwan. We're on a good break here. Feyenoord are all over the shop. Rashford with a bit of space ahead of him. Says Zlatan, pull back. Too late. It's gone in! 3-0. It is 3-0. I don't know whether Zlatan means to do that. I don't know whether he means to do it or not. But he's got people on the pullback and he's sort of on the byline. And he whacks it against the keeper. But you know what? Sometimes maybe two of our goals have been a little bit lucky. I'm intrigued to watch this one back. I'm just waiting for it now. Nah, it doesn't mean it. He's trying to find Mkhitaryan, to be fair. Trying to find Mkhitaryan, and as he passes it along, keeper puts his leg out, hits his heel and goes in. So, you know what? United need a little bit of luck at times. Our goal difference is way superior. Feyenoord have been making loads of mistakes in the final third. Here's Mkhitaryan. He wins as a corner. They've made loads of mistakes in the final third, and they've been paid for it. If Carrick's playing on Sunday, he should be taking him off the pitch now, because at 3-0, this game is done and dusted, and there is absolutely no need for him to be on the pitch if you were ever planning of playing him on Sunday, which we're clearly not. But I tell you what, it makes a massive, massive positive for United to actually go and whack somebody for once. I think some of our performance, I mean, having said that, we did do it to Leicester, but it's about time, and you know, the only thing that will ruin my score now, well, my score prediction would be for, I went 3-1. I don't want Feyenoord to score. I'm quite happy to get it wrong. Rashford, down the left, into the box. Into Luke Shaw. He should be hitting that in first time. Put the ball in the box. I think sometimes we want to take a touch, when as a fullback you should be just whipping it in. In fact, for anybody who plays football, that whipping across into the box when someone's passing it to you is far easier than taking a touch and putting a cross in. It's just technique. Young YT Gamer wants a shout out. Well, I'll give a shout out to everybody because I think you've all been fantastic on the live comments today. Whizzes by. People say, how do you speak for 90 minutes on your own and watch a football game? But I never feel like I'm on my own because I know all you lot are there with your live comments. So a massive, massive applause to all you lot. You've been absolutely fantastic. Adi Hussein wants a shout out. I have a question. Do you think Griezmann will go to Manchester United because there are rumours about it? That's from George Folk. I hope so. I would like us to sign a player of that quality, and I do think that we are missing good tackle by Mkhitaryan. Zlatan, pull back, corner. It's a goal kick anyway. And the one thing I would say about Zlatan, and a few of you are saying it there, is, you know, he may not have a great game, but he's still got a goal. I'll tell you what, Rooney will be frustrated because Andre Manis wants a shout out. And S Legends. Rooney will be frustrated because I think there was goals in this game today, and he probably thought he could have nicked it in. Somebody's on about Robbie Savage. I would mute him if he was the last person on earth. I cannot stand listening to him or Michael Owen or most ex-professional footballers, because as good a footballers they were, I think most of them talk absolute crap, and that's one of the big reasons we do this. Rahul Kadak has just subscribed to the channel. Thanks, Rahul. I really hope we've picked up a load of new viewers tonight, because that's how the United Stand grows, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you've seen this is what it's all about. Interaction, you having your say, and we welcome anybody's opinion. You know, we had that little Rooney chat at half time because it's been rumbling for 2 years. Nobody hates Rooney. Rooney playing well benefits Manchester United. There's just some fans who think that Rooney, you know, has been really shocking for 2 years and is on the decline. Memphis is coming on now. I imagine this is going to be for Mkhitaryan. I hope it is, because I might just turn it up just to listen to the applause that he gets. But yeah, if you are new to the United Stand, there's a little hologram in the bottom right-hand corner with our emblem. If you click that, you can subscribe to the channel. Carrick isn't coming off, folks. It's Lingard and Memphis coming on. That's my only negative from this game, is that I can't see us playing Carrick on Sunday, which is a big shame. I think Sunday's far more important than this. But maybe Jose disagrees. Marcus, who's our moderator, is saying thanks to you all for getting involved tonight. It's just nice as well to get a massive, massive win, 3-0. I think we're 200 subscribers off 53,000. So if there are 200 of you watching who haven't subscribed to the United Stand yet, I'm going to try and sell it very quickly. One, you become part of the United Stand family, and we want everyone to get involved in that and help this channel get bigger and bigger, because our voice will get bigger and bigger. And one day we might have so many subscribers that, you know, people have to listen to the United Stand, and people like, you know, the Sun and everyone like that will get drowned out. That's the aim. We want the fans' voice to be the big voice about Manchester United especially. But two, if you subscribe to the channel, you'll get notified every time we go live, and we do daily live content. You don't have to watch it all, but we have Sunday night live at 8:30, reviewing the weekend. We have preview shows live. We've started doing the transfer shows again. We did one last night at 8:30. Your live comments are always up. You're always part of the show. And obviously every Manchester United game we do a watch along, where we go live as soon as the team news comes out, and then live through till full time. Also, we've started doing Skype Goldbridge on a Monday at 8:30, which is basically, we start the show like this, and we just take Skype calls of you lot Skyping in, and we talk about whatever you want to talk about, which we are going to do at full time as well. I want to take a few calls after full time, see what you're thinking about United, because I think you get the best opinion raw straight after a game. It'll be interesting to see what the general consensus of United fans are, because it's not often. Mkhitaryan there, brilliant again, retaining the ball when he looked in trouble. It's not often. Please, nearly. He's looking for Zlatan all the time as well. I think it's going to be interesting to take your calls at full time, because it's not often we get a convincing United win where there's so much positive to talk about, and I think we'll get some different views from different people, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm just waiting for these substitutions. I'm sure Lingard and Mkhitaryan are about to come on, and I would Mkhitaryan, Lingard and Memphis are going to come on. I would say it will be Mkhitaryan and Rooney off, maybe. Here we go with the subs. Yeah. So it's Mkhitaryan and Rooney off, and Lingard and Memphis on. We lose interest now because, you know, we wanted Rooney to equalise the goal, and every time Mkhitaryan had the ball was a joy to watch. But a few people there saying slightly concerned about Carrick playing the full game. I have a horrible feeling he won't be playing on Sunday, and maybe that was part of the plan from Mourinho anyway. Or maybe he'll shock us and he actually can play. But having said that, we might see Herrera just drop into that position, and you can almost we can always play Rooney. Mkhitaryan, you know, just as we're closing down, we're counting down to 7 minutes. Be interesting to see if Memphis can get the ball, see what he can do. But for me, that Mkhitaryan performance, I'll throw it over to you lot. What did you think? If you were giving a Mkhitaryan a score out of 10, random fun, I would have him as his man of the match. I thought he was very good. And what I would say for the next 7 minutes, and it is only 7 minutes, and it's slightly unfair on Memphis, I suppose, but just watch what you've seen from Mkhitaryan for the last 80 minutes and what you see when Memphis gets the ball. It's the poise, it's the confidence, it's the ability. And Memphis just never has that. He seems to have his head down, whereas Mkhitaryan, when he's got the ball, his head's up. When Memphis gets the ball, his head's down, and you can't do that. You can't do that because you don't see what's going on ahead of you. But Mini Messiah 42 would give Mkhitaryan a 7. Anthony would give him an 8. Kerry an 8. Andrew Thompson an 8. Nilsson Sniper a 10. Loads of 8s. Gungshi, Kategora H. Samuel Devine would give him a 9. AM9 Gaming PC would give him a 9 as well. Ryan Allen says 7.5 at worst, and 8. I think Sunday Lucy says Rooney was excellent. Well, that's interesting. I mean, I think if you were giving, I would give Mkhitaryan an 8, but I would probably give Rooney an 8, and I think Mkhitaryan was better than Rooney, so I would give him I don't like to do 0.5s, but I think you've got to give Mkhitaryan a better score than Rooney, and I thought Rooney was an 8, so I would give Mkhitaryan either a 9 No, it's not. He can't have a 9 because he didn't get an assist or a goal. I give him an 8.5, and I don't normally do halves, but he was just slightly. He was better than Rooney. Here's Lingard, and it's a good save by Brad Jones because that was going in. But what you'll see with United is if we start beating teams 3-0, when subs come on, rather than coming on when we need a goal and we're not playing well and they then don't perform, if we're bringing subs on and with 3-0 up, the subs will perform better because they know they've got to force their way in. Great save by the keeper, says Tony Cool Guy from Lingard there. Carrick. Good save by the keeper again from Lingard again. He's had 2 shots in this game. And then it's a foul by Memphis. Oh. You know what? The cold is starting to catch up with me now. The throat's starting to hurt. Which I don't want. We don't want that. I'll be having a fitness test for West Ham. Rooney and Mickey both 8s. Rooney gave us both goals. Has to be at least an 8, says Ian Fitzgibbon. I said that. I would give Rooney an 8, but Mkhitaryan was better than Rooney as far as I'm concerned, and I think everyone would agree with that. In fairness to Mkhitaryan, he would have had an assist if Zlatan could bloody finish one-on-ones. I mean, that was brilliant, and actually he might have had a goal if the referee could referee properly. Man United are good, says Asaf Vlogs. Yeah, we are good. We just need to start getting some league points now. We can basically park the Europa League, which is what we wanted to do. Mark, you don't look good, mate, says Marcus. I think I'm deteriorating as this stream goes along. I have to have a lem sip, I think. What's up? Come on, Man United. We all know that Mickey's getting replaced by Fellaini this weekend, says Afraid Not. Afraid Not. I hope you're wrong. Mickey will start every game from now, says Annabin. See, positivity. Kay Roberts, thank you very much. Do we have any subs for Mark? Says Ross Gallagher. Yeah, if you've not subscribed, let's check how we've done. I'm massively positive. I think this is what we want to see from United. I think the only thing that's been missing from United recently, we've gone past 50. Oh no, we haven't. Oh, I thought we'd done it then. I read that wrong. I can't read. We're 180 subscribers short of 53,000. So if you haven't subscribed to the United Stand and you like the content and you want to get more involved, please do click the hologram in the bottom right hand corner and subscribe. It's free, and we want you all to get involved. We want the United Stand to grow. And if you have already subscribed, go and tell your friends who support United to get involved with the United Stand, because we've always grown through word of mouth, and it's the best way to grow. And I'm deteriorating. Who's my man of the match? Jack Powell. Would be Mkhitaryan for me. I just think every time he had the ball, he was superb. And I think if you look at everybody else in the game who's played well, everyone's played well. But whether you're talking about Mata, Carrick, Pogba, Zlatan, Rooney, there's been at least 2 or 3 occasions in this game where they've given the ball away. They've played really well, but they've given the ball away, or they've played a bad pass. And I think Mkhitaryan, I can only think of 1 or 2 occasions, but whether he'd lost control of the ball, he'd win it back. He's retained possession. He's gone past players. I thought he was a breath of fresh air. And even if he was quite close to 1 or 2 other players, the reason I'd give him man of the match is because he's coming in from the cold. He's coming in from criticism from the manager. He's coming in from a load of press as to why he's not involved. So to come in and put a performance in like that, I didn't really expect it. I thought we'd see a decent performance, but a little bit rusty. And I thought he just looked brilliant. So I would give it Mkhitaryan for those reasons. Rooney should leave Man United, says Captain Star. You can't please everyone. Did you gain 500 subscribers today, says Timbo Slice. Not quite, because we've not hit 43. 53. What am I on about? But the game's petering out a little bit now. We will open Skype up at full time, and I want people to Skype in and give us their thoughts. We love Jose, says Paul Clayton. We definitely do on this channel. Although, if people are against him, and you want to come on or you want to type in there, please let us know why. Daniel Sheehan, Mkhitaryan's played out of his skin. Absolutely incredible and magic in motion, and I like that so much. I'm going to tweet it, so well done. I thought it was an absolute, like you say, magic in motion, breath of fresh air, exactly what a lot of us would have seen for Dortmund last year, and exactly why we were just so stunned that he wasn't playing. And it must have been some sort of conflict, because I just think he's got the ability. And the big positive for me is, we were sort of hearing things that he'll be leaving United, it can't be repaired. And the great thing is that on that performance today, you'd think you can't let him go. Any United fan with a brain has just seen exactly what that Mkhitaryan can do, and they'd go mad if they sold him. We all wanted Kagawa to succeed. Oh, what a goal by Lingard! I tell you what, Lingard's been very good since he came on as well. 4-0, we wanted that. And how nice it is to be saying 4-0 and having to change the score and everything so frequently. And I tell you what, Lingard's been very good since he came on. Very good. I mean, he's got the freedom of Manchester because they're... keeper can't do anything about it. He was a bit unlucky with one before as well. Mourinho clapping. Don't think much of the celebrations, but I'm old school. I did used to like the Lee Sharp jig when I was a kid, and I'm sure people of my age hated it. But it's a good goal by Lingard. Really pleased. Really pleased. This is what we want. We want people to step up to the plate. We want. I don't know whether I'll tell you what, we're testing the boundaries of the United Stand studio here, because I don't know whether I can fit 4 players on it. I don't know what we'd do if we won 5. We barely can. Back to the drawing board, Drawty. 4-0. Lovely stuff. But we'll take a lot of confidence from that. I mean, I don't listen to press negativity anyway. I don't listen to bitter rivals anyway. But if you are one of those people, it's quite satisfying to just go, Feyenoord aren't one of the worst teams in Europe. We've not just beaten a pub team like Midtjylland last year. This is Feyenoord, a well-known European team, and we've beaten them 4-0. I know they've got most of their defences out, to be honest, but... Daniel Fordham, Paul Scholes said 4 or 5-0. Yeah, Paul Scholes probably said that, because then when it was 1-0, he could moan and be negative. But we've won 4-0. We've been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Really good performance, says Ross Gallagher. Wonderful game, says Tony Coolguy Day. Perfect game again. So happy. It's finished. And Man United are back, says Shane Bradley. We'll be back. We'll be back if we win on Sunday. We need to get 3 points. But so many positives to take from that. An amazing performance, says Tony Coolguy D. What's your name, bro? Says Zorro, Mark Goldbridge. This is the United Stand. Remember to subscribe. And hopefully back on Sunday with another watch-along. We'll have more of this. So if you've enjoyed the watch-along today, remember, every game, come and watch it. Get involved with the United Stand Army on the live comments. And it's a great atmosphere. We've had a bad year of doing these, but I think things are about to get better. We just need to start getting some points in the league. That's where it's all at for me. But a great result. If we have a quick number 10, Zlatan's sad. Brilliant match. Perfect for the match v West Ham. Major boost, says Noel Commons, which I think is spot on. Marshall's our number 9. Let's sign Griezmann. Paul Scholes was a great player, but some of his criticism on United has been unfair. Mickey, fantastic, says Darren Smith. Phil Jones played good, says Daniel Rawson. I don't think you can really judge Jones, Blind and Romero, because I don't think they had very much to do. But you look at the table, and we are second with 9 points. Feyenoord would struggle to get past Fenerbahce, even if they beat them now because of goal difference, but they'll try and get a result. We've got to go to Zoya. All we need is a point against Zoya, and we're through. So we're through, really. It's not over yet, but we will be. Amazing amount of likes on the video, 1,138. Brilliant. I'm glad you've all liked it, because it can't work without you. I hope you've all subscribed to the United Stand. Like I say, We do the watch-alongs, but we do so many other shows on a daily basis, and really, really enjoyed it. Benefits of positive substitutions. A great goal from Lingard, says Adrian Smith. Keep up the good work and get well soon, says Kai Roberts. Yeah, thank you. Bye, Mark. Skype Goldbridge time, says Daziz. We just need to do this on PL. What do you think about Victor Nilsson, Lindelof? And does Mickey start next game against West Ham? Hope he does, says Siddharth. I don't think he will. But it would be nice. What I'm going to do is I am just going to open up Skype. I feel rubbish, so I'm probably not going to do it for too long. And I do want to see what Mourinho's got to say. And then after that, I'll do my live match reaction on a different stream. But let's take some calls and do a Skype Goldbridge. We just set up a tweet. I won't be a moment. The perfect day. We had a brilliant tweet out about Stevie G, which if you haven't seen it, is brilliant and taking the piss. And then a perfect performance from United, topped off by the fact that Rooney looked better, Mkhitaryan looked amazing. So an all-round brilliant day. And we haven't had many of them as a United fan. But, for me, the most important thing really is getting the 4 goals and having something to build on, some positivity to build on. So, yeah, I'm really happy about that. The Skype is Mark Goldbridge, mark.goldbridge. Skype in and you can have your say. Although Skype is... Oh, Skype's decided to update. What a brilliant time that is. Thank you to Skype. We're updating. This won't take long. Fantastic. It started again now. That's good. Skype started. So, Daniel, can you hear me?
Hello, Matt.
Hi, Daniel. You're live. Give us your thoughts on the game.
I've been a huge critic of Wayne Rooney in the last couple of years. I'm proved wrong. Completely.
Sorry, Daniel. It's broken up. I really can't hear you that well at all. No, he's gone. I don't know whether that's me or them. It shouldn't be me. Let's try Glenn. See if he can hear me. Hello, Glenn. Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, Glenn. You're live on the United Stand. What did you want to say?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, now Mkhitaryan played and he's had a fantastic game and he's my man of the match, do you think that Mourinho will give him his chance now and stop lacking, because he's putting up a lot of pressure on him, so do you think he'll give him that chance?
I mean, what do you think? Do you think he'll play him on Sunday? I mean, there's a few people on the live comments saying, "Oh, he's got to play on Sunday." I think it'll be little steps, really. But I thought he was amazing. I thought he had so much. Like you say, the manager's sort of got on his back. He's, the press has been saying, "Where is he?" I'd have been happy with a 7 out of 10 today. I thought he was far better than that. I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah, well, in them front three, Lingard, Rooney, Mata, I'd say there's only Mata that's equally as good. Because Rooney and Lingard's not as good. So I can't understand, when the fans see that he can play that sort of football, why can the manager that's meant to be the best manager in the world can't see the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, there must have been something going on behind the scenes, because I saw him in a pre-season game against Wigan and he looked much like he did tonight, so it can't be anything to do with ability. There must have been some sort of fallout, because I can't, and I think the positive is, I think we'll see more and more of him now, because as fans, for those fans who didn't know how good he was, I just thought he was amazing tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Would you have him as your man? Was he your man of the match, or?
It was my man of the match. Every time he got the ball, it looked like that he was going to create something. He was the most creative player on the field, and Yeah, he was definitely man of the match. There wasn't. I know there was some players that was maybe 7 and 8, but he was definitely an 8.5 without a doubt. Because there wasn't a player in our team that was better than him. Rooney wasn't better than him. Might have played well, but still, I still think that it was the most creative player, and that's what we bought him for £27 million. So why buy someone for £27 million and then play him about 50 minutes a whole season or something?
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what the manager has got to say. But thanks for calling in, Glenn. I really appreciate that. Take it you're phoning from Manchester.
No, Preston.
Preston, not far
Yeah.
off then. Closer
Yeah.
than me. Cheers for calling, pal. Thanks for the call. Cheers.
Bye.
As soon as Mourinho comes on, I will kill the whole stream because I really, really want to hear what he's got to say about Mkhitaryan. But let's take another one. See what people have got to say. Rory, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead, mate. What was it you wanted to say?
Just wanted to say that I feel that it was a brilliant game by us there tonight. I really thought we played well, even though it was kind of like the Swansea game. We were playing a team that I don't know. They just looked bad enough tonight. But I wanted to say that I think given Zlatan the new contract, I think if we're gonna bring him in just for in the dressing room, that would be good. But playing him, he just slows up the play. And United always really, if he was a bit faster, he'd be good. But I just think he slows us up. He plays too deep, and yeah, that's really how I feel.
Yeah, I'd agree. Thanks for calling in, Ryan. I'm just gonna I'm a little bit Rory, sorry. Mkhitaryan's talking at the moment, so I'm just going to end the call and see what he's got to say. Thanks for calling, pal.
Yeah, no problem. Bye.
Well, encouraging there that we can see Mkhitaryan and Rooney stood with each other at the end of the game there, which is good. We want to see him. Rooney's a massive influence on that team and the dressing room, so it's really good to see that. Hopefully, with that sort of performance, people will start to trust in Mkhitaryan because there was obviously an issue behind the scenes. And Scholes just there saying that this sort of performance has been coming for a few weeks, which is what a lot of us have been saying. The problem with United has been that we haven't been scoring the goals, and tonight we got 4 goals. I am concerned about West Ham at the weekend. That's the more important result for me. But I think we have got the players and the ability to win the game, and that's what it's all about. We're getting too much lag apparently, which obviously I'm gonna shut Skype down because I know what the issue is, and there's not a lot I can do about that. But thanks for those 2 people who did call in, and we will be doing more Skype Goldbridges in the future. Thanks everybody who's been watching tonight. We've got loads of likes on the video, which is the main thing I like. Pardon the pun. On these shows because we can't do them without you. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. But more importantly, if you're a United fan or you're not a United fan and you like the content on the United Stand and what we do, then just keep spreading the word and telling your mates and United fans to get involved, because we want all fans from wherever you are in the world just to get involved with the United Stand, because that's what it's all about. But is this the start of something? You know what? I think the minute Mourinho took the job, it was the start of something. It was just a case of how long it's going to be. I said it would be highs and lows, and we will have a couple more lows. That's going to happen, but the reality is we wouldn't have had so many lows this season if we hadn't scored the amount, if we'd taken the chances we've had. I think back to Burnley and Stoke and Arsenal even, where we really should have just put those games to bed. But we move on. That's in the past. This is in the future. West Ham's the game that was always the game of the week. We've got to win that game. I'm glad we've won tonight, but it's about West Ham on Sunday. But the great thing is goals bring confidence, and we've got so many players now. Herrera didn't play tonight. He's playing really well. So yeah, very, very happy with that result. I'm going to watch what Mourinho's got to say, and then I will be doing another live stream tonight, sort of like a live match reaction stream. And I'll speak to you all very soon if you're going to watch that. Obviously, if you've subscribed to the channel, you should get, if you click the bell, a live notification when we go live. But if not, watch out for us on Twitter or the stream. But thanks everyone for watching. Really, really enjoyed it. And very, very positive about Mkhitaryan. I thought he was brilliant and one of many positives. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in my live reaction in about